What's up and welcome to Movie Dumpster Season 7, Episode 9. Today we're talking about Harry and the Hendersons from 1987, directed by William Dear. And we're going to tell you why this is the best family movie about Bigfoot. I'm Joe Lascola.
I'm Sean O'Rourke.
And I'm Tim from Tapes from the Crypt.
Welcome to the Dumpster. Gentlemen, welcome.
Yes,
And welcome Tim.
Yes,
Wow.
welcome Tim.
Tim Nugent from Tapes from the Crypt is finally in the video dungeon. He's finally here, and we're kicking it, dude, with some Harry and the Hendersons.
Boys, give me the cross pound. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, dude.
Feels good to be covered in trash in the dumpster for the first time. Finally.
Officially, at least,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, Tim, we've known you for a while now. I think Joe's maybe known you a little longer, but how you been? Who are you to the dumpster dwellers if they're not familiar?
If you're not privy to Tapes from the Crypt.
Somehow.
Currently, I'm sweaty, but I put out merchandise, promo items, occasionally hot sauce, all kinds of cool stuff. Been doing it since 2019. And I've been a big movie dumpster fan for years, so it feels really great to be here, guys.
I really appreciate that, dude. You've been a huge supporter of the show, and you're always dropping dope shit like this Uncle Buck tee that I got.
Hey, you look great.
Actually got your whole Uncle Buck collection, which we'll be
Cool.
saving for later because we got to do Uncle Buck this year.
Oh, yeah, at some point, for sure.
Yeah. I got the
Amazing.
bowling shirt. I got
Nice. The syrup is done and
there
is
you go.
shipping this week.
So you got to
it's
make the
good.
big pancake.
We got to make the big pancake and use that syrup. Dude.
Pancake contest.
Yeah.
It's on. Who's got the biggest cakes?
We'll do it outside on the shovel with the
Yeah.
shovel and everything
Yeah.
on a huge
Oh,
griddle.
man,
I want
perfect.
chocolate chips in mine.
I don't know. Woo! Happy birthday!
You just had the thought, imagine Cumdar makes his own pancake. I don't want to eat his pancake.
You can smell that from miles away, dude.
God, ooh.
So, not to digress too heavy,
Yeah,
but
sure.
chocolate chip pancakes. Do you guys syrup your chocolate chip pancakes?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
Typically, no.
Yes, I do.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
so you guys aren't psychos.
I gotta have a.
I was gonna say my go-to is blueberry, but chocolate
Yeah.
chip in that the giant version. I think I
When
want.
people
chocolate
eat
chip.
pancakes dry, even if it is chocolate
Yeah.
chip, you're a fucking psycho.
Just put butter on it or something.
Well,
Yeah.
dude, I need to have a slather of butter and some fucking syrup on
Yeah.
top of that stack. I can't do it dry. Why would you do it dry? The only
I can see chocolate syrup really go over the top with it.
butter pecan at IHOP. They used to have that. That was one of my faves.
Man, you guys are crazy.
Pigs in a blanket.
I'm in. I'm so in.
Dude, sausage wrapped in pancake.
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
you're
man.
talking. Now that's
Let's
the
go.
business.
I haven't really thought about pancakes that deeply since my years at IHOP with Joe in high school. But
Dude.
damn, now I want some pancakes.
Man.
Just feed them to me.
This is going to be a 4-hour episode.
I'll be like Bill Murray, just shoving them in my mouth like that angel food cake.
Well, you need a Bigfoot pancake, dude. That's shaped like a foot.
I'd eat it.
You do.
Yeah, guys, but before we start shoveling through the Sasquatch shit, if you want some more Movie Dumpster content, you can head over to patreon.com/Movie Dumpster, and you can get an ad-free audio version of the show for as little as $2 a month, or you can join the $5 or $10 tiers, get yourself some sticker packs, some live watch-alongs, some commentary tracks, mini-sodes, all kinds of good stuff. We also do a junk mail episode. Go check it out.
And if you're watching on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe and share it with your friends. It really does help get the word out on the show. And if you listen on your favorite podcast app, leave us that 5-star review and a thumbs up. Get the show out to more people. Let's grow this dumpster community and get the show out to, like I always say, into more eyeballs, eardrums, and everything in between.
Yeah, man, and those reviews really help the show. They are worth more than you going to Patreon or buying anything from the store or anything like that. But if you do want to do that, you can head over to moviedumpsterpodcast.com. We got a store over there. We got a calendar so you can keep up where the Dumpster Boys are doing, what events we're going to be at and stuff. We're going to be at VHS Fest at the Mahoning Drive-In Theater on July 13th through the 15th. And then we're going to be at Monster Mania in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, August 2nd through the 4th. So you're not going to want to miss that. Come and hang out with us and meet some of your favorite celebs and watch some great movies.
So speaking of the Sasquatch shit, the Bigfoot shit, we're jumping into the Harry and the Hendersons episode here. We're finally talking about Bigfoot.
A little skunk ape, too, yeah.
Don't smell the bastard, put it that
Well,
way.
you can smell him coming for sure. It's like this guy. I smelled him coming down the stairs.
Yeah, right.
Smelled you
right.
getting off the elevator.
Not the pancakes I was talking about earlier.
Man,
Cumdar's pancakes.
I smell.
That is not true. He's actually
No.
very fragrant in a nice way.
Yeah,
Smells like flowers, like roses,
Yeah,
obviously.
I took a hillbilly shower before I came in
Yeah.
here with like 3 different like colognes at the bottom of the bottle, just spritz. So I was like, oh, man, I'm on Movie Dumpster. little Armani, little Dior,
Oh, look at
little
that.
Versace.
Et des toilettes dumpster?
Yes.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
Say a
where
little,
we're at.
little Bigfoot sweat.
That smells like Bigfoot's dick.
And to cap it off, some Bigfoot sweat.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. So Harry and the Hendersons, we were talking about doing this show, and Tim couldn't make the episode last month, so we put it off, and then we recorded some other stuff. We did that Trilogy of Terror 1 and 2 episode,
Yes.
which is now going to come out after this.
Correct.
And we're going to put this forward because we moved it up a little bit. But now Tim is here. We're fucking getting into it, baby. And I want to talk a little bit about, Harry and the Hendersons in general, and like, did you guys grow up with this movie? Because I sure did, and I have a lot to talk about.
I mean, I guess I could just go first because my answer is very quick. No.
Okay.
I even said to Joe earlier over text message that I think this is the first time I've ever watched it in completion.
Really? I was very surprised at that.
I definitely have caught scenes back in the day on like USA or TNT when it was airing, but I don't know, for some reason I just never sat through the whole film, but there are segments that I vividly do remember.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's where I am with it, guys.
Yeah, for me, this was a like most cool dads in the 90s. My dad stole the shit out of cable.
Oh yeah,
we
dude.
had a hot box. So
My dad was an electrician.
Yeah,
so
dude.
he probably hooked your dad up with that black box,
dude, I remember my dad being like, "Cable guys, come and hide this, like tuck this under the couch." Yeah, so this was an HBO movie for me, big time.
Yeah, man.
So watched the shit out of this as a kid. Love it.
Dude, watched this like a ton on cable. I rented the shit out of this as a kid.
Yeah.
It was on TV a lot too.
Yeah.
Around that time.
When you said TNT USA for sure, I
Yeah.
remember catching it on there.
Which is even crazier. So this movie comes out in 87. I was born in 87. But I didn't really start watching it till like the 90s.
I was going to say, you didn't come out with the remote. Where's Harry and Henderson's mom? Holy shit, he's talking.
No, but I'm saying it was still a relevant thing
Yeah.
at that time, especially because the series dropped in the
TV show.
That's what I was
early
gonna
90s.
say, yeah.
So, and then like the little Harry doll here was here all the time. I remember. All right, let me back up a little bit. I'm a huge.
Fondling this doll's head.
Yeah, well, you gotta touch his face, dude. I'm gonna smack him 5 across
Smack
like
him.
John Lithgow does. I want to talk a little bit about like cryptids and Bigfoot and all that stuff, man, because I fucking love cryptozoology. I love Bigfoot. I love the Loch Ness Monster. I got a Patterson Gimlin fucking casting on the table from the Cryptozoology Museum in Maine.
Somewhere in Maine.
Fuck it.
In
Maine it is.
Maine. Yeah, I got it from Innsmouth. Yeah,
Yeah.
New England.
There you
Yeah,
go.
somewhere in New England. My wife took me on like a cryptozoology birthday trip.
Damn.
And
Oh,
that's
yeah, I
where
remember that,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
where I got that, and it was just really cool. And we did a lot of fun stuff and hit a bunch of spots and like Lovecraft spots and stuff like that. So that was really neat.
Was that when you met Mothman? Or you saw his grave or something, a statue?
No, I sucked the Mothman's dick in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, on a different
yes.
trip.
Okay.
Yeah,
I remember
actually,
that.
I was actually going to wear that shirt, but I wanted to make sure to wear Tapes from the Crypt shirt,
Oh, thank you, buddy.
and I didn't
Repping.
want to clash my cryptids. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm glad we didn't wear the same shirt. that one's in my bag right now.
I wore the Movie Dumpster Podcast Joe
Yes.
Buchanan Rules t-shirt.
Self-promotion. You can get that on MovieDumpsterPodcast.com right now.
Has no relation to the episode. I was like, hey, it's kind of a summer film. This looks like a camp shirt. Perfect.
Fuck it.
It's a Monster Squad shirt, homie.
Well, right, yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to get hyper technical.
So yeah, love cryptids, love Bigfoot, and like one of my first introductions to it was Harry and the Hendersons. But I also, you guys remember Book Fair?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
At school?
Captain
Like, oh, yeah.
Underpants. That's where I got those books.
The best, man, right? So I remember getting this, and I was always down for like mystery books and ghost books, cryptid books and
Yeah.
stuff. This was one of my favorites. Strange Unsolved Mysteries, Monsters, Strange Dreams, and UFOs by Phyllis Rabin Emmert. Over 20 amazing stories for me to choose from.
That's awesome.
And I read every single one of them, and they talk about the Bigfoot, they talk about Loch Ness Monster, they talk about the Hope Diamond, all kinds of shit. Mothman's in here. So this was like my first introduction to all that stuff. It was like my little guidebook for the weird, you know?
See,
So
that's like a dope book fair buy.
yeah.
If I could go back and redo it, I wouldn't be buying Lamborghini posters and erasers.
the erasers we could have all done without
Fucking
them.
Jesus, man. I mean, I got some Goosebumps books, which is
Yeah.
great, but yeah, the Lamborghini posters and erasers, I was that guy too, for
I
sure.
was
I feel like
always-
I ate more of those erasers than I actually
Yeah, oh
used. Chewed on them.
yeah.
I was never like the car guy.
Same.
So like I got like shit like Teacher from the Black Lagoon or like Goosebumps stuff,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they had some good shit there. But that was like my first introduction, and I was like hooked like ever since as a
Awesome.
kid. And I'm a big monster kid. All three of us are monster kids. but Bigfoot is one of those classics, baby. But yeah, Harry and the Hendersons, man, over the moon for this when it came out, and it was so like accessible, right? Because there's like other stuff like Boggy Creek in the 70s, which kind of kicked off the Bigfoot or Squatchploitation, like we were talking about before, like Bigfoot movies. And there's like Little Bigfoot, and there's To Catch a Yeti, and there's what the Adventure with Bigfoot or Bigfoot and Me or some shit, other one.
Home Improvement one, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of like kid-friendly Bigfoot movies, but again, like this is the mother of all kid-friendly Bigfoot movies, the family ones. And like I remember vividly going to the boardwalk and like getting this guy right here.
Damn legend.
Oh man, that was a boardwalk.
That was growing up by Seaside Heights, man, and going to the boardwalk. And
you can't get those now, dude. Like they're really hard to find.
They're super hard to find, and they're fucking expensive.
They are.
This is not the pull string version. It's just like the plush one.
It's like the Crane Game one, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
What the hell would even the plush have? The roar and his one line at the end.
Okay. Like DK, man. Okay.
Once again, like if he just ripped ass in the movie, it would have been the perfect opportunity.
God, he's like the fucking guardian ape from Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. Rips his fucking head off. It's a bit of a spoiler.
Dude, I'm surprised this ape man doesn't fart once.
Dude, missed opportunity for huge farts, giant logs. We get nothing. Toilet break. Like all this stuff.
He's
like
in the bathroom at one point, but he never takes a shit. What's up with that?
I'm like, he can like literally jump, break through the floor, no issue. But I don't know.
You might be putting the foot in front of the. I don't know. There was an analogy there, but
the foot before the dong.
Sure,
they're both large.
Cart horse trying to relate it to Bigfoot. I'm not sure.
Harry he's fucking hung, bro.
Yeah.
He is ready to go.
He is hanging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and everyone knows it.
Yeah.
They comment on it. We never see it, but they mention it.
For sure. I just really love this movie. I thought it was so cool when it came out, and it was like one of the best. It was the best Bigfoot movie, like, I think, of all time. It's the best looking Bigfoot of all time. That's for damn sure. And then later in life, like, you found stuff like Night of the Demon and stuff like that, where like the killer Bigfoot movies and stuff like that, or even like Shriek of the Mutilated, stuff that,
All movies I haven't seen and now need to watch.
Boggy Creek, Boggy Creek 2, newer stuff would be like Exists or like Willow Creek, that Bobcat Goldthwait movie.
I've heard of that, yeah.
So there is a shit ton of Bigfoot content in movies, and we had originally talked about doing like a Bigfoot month.
There's you and that mouse in your pocket again this week. No, we did talk about it. I'm busting balls here.
If you don't stop stealing my fucking joke and fucking it up every time, I'm gonna knock you out.
Oh, no, this is an idea Joe's pitched a few times. I'm joking. We have talked about it because Joe's listed, because I'm always like, how many could there fucking be? And he goes down the list he just gave me, and I'm like, all right,
like, how much time you got?
Yeah. It's like, it rivals like Sharksploitation, dude. It really does.
Crazy to me.
So yeah, this movie just means a lot to me, and it's so fun to like get to talk about it with you guys and share the love of some Harry, man. Big Harry boy.
The multiple meanings to that, yes.
So yeah, let's jump into a little bit behind the scenes here. So this movie's directed by William Dear.
Yes.
Or Dear William. Our Dear William.
Either way, he's done some films that I was actually more familiar with, believe it or not, including Angels in the Outfield he directed.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man. This dude is responsible for the Christopher Lloyd classic.
Well, classic might be... I think that movie's good. Classic. I gotta rewatch it.
Do you think if we put Harry up to bat, the Angels will win the pennant? I'm just saying.
There you go.
Sock a few dingers, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, with his dong.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yes.
He's swinging it and knocking it out of the
it's
park.
not a gummy worm. It is a straight up gummy anaconda.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's like that guy in The Boys. You ever watch The Boys? There's this one part in the second season, they're going in like a prison or something. There's this guy's power is he has a gigantic penis. He wraps it around the one guy's neck. Anyway,
you gotta unhinge the jaw for that bad boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He also did, which a film I completely forgot existed, but it like came back to me. It all rushed back to me. Was Wild America.
Wild America. We were just talking about
Devin
JTT,
Sawa.
man.
Dude, why
JTT?
are all these movies you're saying like somewhat the same though? Like
That's,
they're all,
wow.
Because
They
were
are.
all on the same goddamn trailer reel for the tapes we used to watch as a kid. Man.
I do remember Wild America specifically. There's that film element, so maybe that's why I was attracted to it. And there's also like, oh, they're going out on an adventure. So I think all of my
that was a grandma movie
it.
for me. My grandma had that clamshell.
That's so sweet, man. Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, it's three brothers who like their parents are like, oh, you want to make a documentary about America? Go ahead.
I think JTT gets attacked by a bear at some point.
And is it Zachary Taylor Thomas?
No, it's Devin Sawa and somebody else.
That's right.
I don't know who the other dude was.
The other guy.
Yeah, JTT and Devin Sawa. Probably some other heartthrob that fell off.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that suck, he also directed Sandlot 3. I don't have high hopes
What
for that.
the fuck? I didn't even know that
It was
existed.
the second direct-to-video sequel.
So the plot of the
God.
movie is that Luke Perry gets fucking domed by a baseball, and it knocks him out all the way back to 1976 when he's a kid. And then that's the Sandlot, and he like has a self-discovery session with his younger self.
Does he go after the dog again?
The dog is in it? Question mark. I don't know.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I need that.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear any of that.
Oh, he also did If Looks Could Kill in several other movies, but I mean, I just listed the big ones and Sandlot
with
3.
Richard
Sandlot
Greco.
3.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's
Richard
one of his big
Greco's in that
ones.
movie, and he like gets
Yeah.
mistaken for like a fucking.
He's the lead. He's on the poster.
Yeah,
He's the only one.
Yeah, he gets mistaken for like an agent or some
Yeah,
shit,
yeah.
and people
Oh
are trying to
my
kill him.
Fucking God, boys.
So William Deere has a little bit of a spread, we're saying. Not uncommon on this show, but it's always interesting to see what some of these directors have done.
He also wrote the story for this movie.
Oh,
or
really?
like I think he partook in writing the screenplay for this, but he definitely wrote the story for The Rocketeer as well, which I thought was
wow.
pretty
That
interesting.
movie's good. Holds up.
Yes.
So here's another little tidbit that I thought was fun too, because it's also written by Ezra Rappaport, but it's then co-written against. There's 3 writers for this. Bill Martin or William Martin, whatever you want to call him. I don't know him personally, but he is the voice of the Nightmare King in Little Nemo. Have you ever seen Little Nemo, the animated movie?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Little Nemo in Slumberland?
Yeah.
It's over there. What a great animated movie if you haven't checked that out.
Cool.
I think that's one that doesn't get talked about much. There was a good video game that came out with
That's
it
what
too.
I
Yeah.
remember it from. Yeah.
Huh.
It was a comic strip, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe if I could see a visual of it, it might strike something, but I can't picture it.
But he also did the voice of Sam Hain and the Sandman for the RGB cartoon, Real Ghostbusters cartoon.
Oh.
I just thought that was so
Pumpkinhead.
fucking
You
weird.
love that.
Oh,
You
dude,
love that
I
shit.
love it so
Yeah,
much.
that's cool.
And Sam Hain's one of my favorite villains in
Yeah.
that series.
He's the coolest one.
He's a pumpkin
Yeah, he's
Halloween
cool.
man.
You watched all those episodes. Does Egon push up his glasses and say, "Actually, sir, your name is Samhain"?
Actually, it's pronounced Showin.
What a
no.
dork.
I mean, what other character's pushing his glasses up? Come on.
This one.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Even weirder, one more. Instead of Uncle Phil, I guess Uncle Phil was filming Fresh Prince at the same time when TMNT was going on.
Okay.
Because season 8 and 10, he appears on 7 episodes of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon,
Whoa.
voicing Shredder.
Huh.
The weirdest shit.
Random.
I looked it up just because, what else did he
Yeah,
write?
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, he's like a prolific voice actor. He did a bunch of Baldur's Gate voices too.
Like the original?
I don't know.
Oh, I'd have to look that
I
up.
just thought
That's
you might
interesting.
see that,
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he's voice acting in that first game.
Yeah.
See, this is why this is cool, man. Because then you find out he was Shredder for 7
Yeah,
episodes.
like what the fuck?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought Uncle Phil did the full run.
He probably might have been sick or something. You're right, or maybe he was busy. Because I remember, like,
He was getting that Fresh Prince money, dude.
He
not
was.
even relatable, but kind of is. I remember for like 6 episodes of One Piece in the middle of like one arc, like the chick who does Chopper, who also does Pikachu.
Yeah.
she had her baby, so she couldn't obviously do the role for like 10 episodes, and
Yeah.
it's like it's noticeable. It sounds
Yeah.
different, but it's like wow, that's kind of interesting when you see
It's
those.
a very specific voice, I guess.
Wow,
Right?
yes.
And so is Uncle
Sounds like
Phil's.
Pikachu.
So there you go.
Well, that's yeah.
Effects by Rick Baker. Fucking amazing.
Legend.
Like,
Won an Academy Award for it.
He won an Academy Award for it. I mean, we were talking about this before. You said it was his favorite makeup he's ever done?
Favorite. Still looks the best, too.
Dude, I
Looks
think,
like Beekler a little bit. I got to keep saying it.
you want to talk
That
about
forehead.
You want to talk about like a full soup to nuts makeup job, holding up and looking amazing, especially like on that Blu-ray. My goodness, I mean, Harry is incredible.
That's
He's
actually a great point. Looking good on the Blu-ray. I like to bring that up occasionally on some of these movies, and you're right. It just looked good from day one, so it still looks good.
I mean, it looks like there's a Bigfoot on
Yeah.
set. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that that's just like Bigfoot.
Down
you know
to
what
the
I mean?
cheeks, the smile, like the eyes.
The eyes, everything.
Everything.
And Kevin Peter Hall, baby, in the suit, too.
oh, he's adding to it. The little
Yeah.
hand motions
Legend.
he makes, touching the face and everything.
Yeah,
Adds so much.
and all the emotion that he's got coming through his eyes, you know. And Kevin Peter Hall's been on the show before. He's
Many
in,
times.
He's in Monster in the Closet, of course. Predator 2.
Right.
We covered Predator 2. And we did an interview with Graydon Clark,
Oh, yeah.
and he directed Without Warning, and he played the alien,
Alien,
in
yeah.
that movie. And I also thought that was cool because Rick Baker sculpted the alien head for that movie. So the more you know.
I was going to say, more you know. Man.
I mean, Rick Baker is a legend, like we've talked about many times on this show. So it's like the second you see his name, it's like, all right, well, there's at least got to be quality effects
100%.
coming at you.
I mean, shit that's held up like really, really well. Harry's like in the top 5 makeups, I think,
yeah.
like of all time, in my opinion. Again,
I can see it.
Won an Oscar for it.
Support
Yeah.
you.
Just like the combination of coming together between Kevin's acting plus the makeup, like going through. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's a living, breathing being, you know.
Peanut butter and chocolate.
Yeah. So I'm gonna dovetail into the Harry and the Hendersons series. Now, maybe this is why I remember it as a kid.
I wonder if I actually saw the show.
That's what I'm saying.
But I do remember sequences, so it must have been a little bit of column A and B.
But it comes out like 4 or 5 years after the movie.
I only remember like the intro with just like the car pulling up, like,
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
And Bruce Davison is in
He's
it.
the dad.
Yeah. But famously from the Titanic 2 episode.
Wow,
and Word
yeah.
Processor of the Gods.
Because I feel like I looked this up a couple years ago. I forgot if it was for Movie Dumpster or something for my day job, but I was doing the research and I was like, holy shit, Bruce Davison? I was like, 3 years?
And it ran for 3 seasons,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, people liked it.
Holy shit. So Kevin Peter Hall, like, does Predator in 87, and I would assume goes, or 86, they're filming it. Predator comes out in 87. I would assume that he shoots Harry and the Hendersons, like, right after that.
Yeah.
And then right after that, he does Predator 2 for 91. Yeah, it's got to be in the pocket there.
And then he dies shortly. I mean, he dies while they're making.
So then he comes back to do the series,
Yeah.
and he's in 16 episodes of the first season. And while he's on set, he like reveals to everybody that he's been diagnosed with HIV
Okay.
because of like a blood transfusion he had. And then he ended up like dying from
so
like
fucked
HIV related pneumonia, man. Like it's really fucked up.
Not long
He'd
after
still
that.
be alive today, man. If that was the
Could you
case, if it happened
imagine?
now, you know, it's crazy.
Man, you want to talk about like lists of people that you wish you could have met? Kevin Peter Hall is on that list. For
Well,
me,
John
man.
Ritter always comes to mind.
John
Wasn't
Ritter-
that like a freak thing?
Yeah.
That's another
Or
one.
Bill Paxton. I should have.
You could go down the list, man.
I know, but like, you know, you just never know. And I know it's a shitty thing to say, like, oh, I wish I could have did that, but like just to kind of bullshit with these people for just a little
Yeah,
bit.
even just a
Yeah.
couple minutes.
Yeah.
Bummer.
So he passes away, but they had to fill the shoes because they were still in the middle of shooting it. So Brian Steele fills the role, and he's been in a metric fuck ton of stuff. He was the Cathoga in The Relic. He was Samael in Samael? However you... Samael?
Samael, probably.
Is that how you say
That's
it? From Hellboy.
Oh, yeah, probably.
From Hellboy.
From the Bible.
I always,
yeah, Samael.
I always fuck that up.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was in that suit. He was in like Peter Brench's The Creature. What else was he in? He was a T-600 in Terminator Salvation. I thought that was funny. That we talked about. And he was the Berserker and Falconer Predator in Predators. So I thought that was pretty cool, man. And he ended up playing Bigfoot again in that movie Exists that I was talking about.
Huh. Well, he had the experience.
So yeah, as our guest, would you like to kind of plot crunch this for us very briefly what this movie's about?
Yeah. So, first of all, how pro fucking gun is this movie, dude? Right?
Yes and no.
But like at the same, I mean,
Yeah.
balance wise. But in the beginning, it's like, yo, I'm all about murdering animals, bringing them home, doing this and doing that.
Yeah.
Like you're right though. Like there is a balance at the end. You know, we kind of get that like healthy sort of. Yes, guns are for hunting, but don't kill Harry
For no reason.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
use
right.
them senselessly. Yeah.
But you know, Harry gets hit by a car, family trip going. He ends up being alive, hops on, they bring him home, you know, and then they kind of
hilarity ensues.
hilarity ensues,
And then sadness.
and then sadness,
And then happiness.
and then happiness,
yeah.
and then this and that. A lot of car punching, a lot of floor breaking, a lot of stank, man.
Oh, dude, there's stank up and down the
A
halls.
lot of
this one.
stank.
Mhm.
There's also some random French guy hunting Harry, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jacques Lefleur. So yeah, John Lithgow is camping with his family. I mean, fucking John Lithgow, guys. This star is star-studded. This film, I
Yeah,
think.
John Lithgow from Ricochet, obviously.
Yeah,
It's
from
his famous movie.
right? From Santa Claus, obviously.
Third
Yeah.
Rock from the Sun, bro.
Yeah. Third Rock from the Sun is
I
his
mean,
biggest one.
He's great in Ricochet. I'm half kidding.
Oh,
but-
I love him in Twilight Zone, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite segments of all time. George Miller, baby.
Yeah.
Dexter.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, he's great in Dexter. It's another big one. And Third Rock, like you
Yeah.
said, was
Third Rock, I think he's phenomenal,
Yeah.
but it's like Dexter, it's a totally different role. It is just the polar opposite, right?
And even Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, man, he was great in that too. Yeah.
He was good in that.
Yeah. Always,
Or
always
Rise, it was Rise.
It was
He's just
Rise?
so-
that
he's
naming
so good.
it's confusing.
Yeah, they fucked it up. You think the dawn is the beginning of it, right?
Yeah, he gave us his dementia.
Yeah, but I it's always nice to see him, and he's great in this movie. I think he's got great comedic timing, but he's also a great dramatic actor as well. So he's there with his son Ernie, who's Joshua Rude. I don't know how the fuck you say it, but he's in the Alf episode, the asparagus episode, when they dress up like asparagus.
Okay.
Asparagus, put them on your table.
I thought he was Fishman from fucking Bushwhacked at first, but a quick Google search proved that to be wrong.
Definitely not.
In the MDU, it's Fishman.
He plays Spencer.
This is his
on
parents,
Alf.
obviously.
Yeah.
He goes home, he tells him about Spider and the adventure he had, and Daniel Stern.
Well, no, he
pissing on Manelli's head and that whole thing.
Well, he sings the song with Brian at the school play,
right?
And he tells his dad there's a fucking alien living with them. Then he goes home, and then his family hits Bigfoot, and then it's kind of the same thing.
Sure,
Brian's living with the alien, he's living with Bigfoot. Makes
Lines
sense.
up.
Yeah.
Well, obviously Bushwhack would be later. He's too young for Bushwhack to have happened yet.
He's also in this series called What a Dummy. Did you guys ever hear of this?
No.
I wanted to cover this a few years back, and it's like this short-lived series about a talking dummy, and Steven Dorff is in it. And this kid plays the little brother, and it's like a comedy show.
Yeah.
Well, it's no cousin Skeeter by the sounds of it.
Oh my god.
So they're out and they're hunting, and they bring a rabbit back to the campsite and shit, like you were saying, like, oh, you bagged it, Ern, good one. And Mom's there, Melinda Dillon. She's Mom from Christmas Story.
And she's just the perfect mom.
Man, she's so great.
She's awesome.
Do these kind of close together, right? I didn't look up Christmas Story, but I know that was like late 80s.
80,
early, right?
85?
Okay,
84,
so
85.
A couple years
it's
removed.
in the pocket there, yeah.
She basically plays the same exact character, but if she was alive in 87.
Yeah.
She's
same
so
character.
good.
She's so awesome.
She's good in
dude.
it, yeah.
Yeah. She's also in Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Oh, right. Is she the wife? Is Richard Dreyfuss' wife
I'm
in
pretty
that?
sure, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And she was in the 1990 Captain America movie.
Oh, God, I still have never seen
Never
that.
seen it.
Should take the plunge on that one.
The one that's on the shelf in air quotes because it's not supposed to be out there, or did that one actually make it out
No,
there?
I think that one made it out there.
Okay.
The only one that didn't is
Was
Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Oh, she was also in this John List movie that I want to see. You guys know who John List is? Like the Family Annihilator serial killer that Stepfather was based on.
Right.
Oh, okay.
She was in some like docudrama about it, made for TV movie that I want to check out.
Cool.
Wonder if the winter Stepfather makes an appearance. Does Terry O'Quinn get an interview in that?
You know he is.
You did a lot of research on this topic. Can you speak to it? Well, I didn't sleep for weeks after that role, and then I did it another time.
Wait, who am I here?
Yeah, right. It's actually Terry O'Quinn saying it now.
Of course.
Holy shit.
Also, their daughter, who is Ernie's sister, Sarah, is there. So they're like, oh, we got to cook this rabbit. And there's like this funny back and forth where they're like, that's disgusting. Can we just go home already? You know,
Yeah, but
we've
then-
been here for 6 weeks, Dad.
Right. And then Dad's like, well, I don't want to waste it.
So they want to mount it because they're like a big hunting family because John Lithgow, come to find out, he like works for his dad in like a sporting goods store.
Like an ammo, like gun shop kind of thing,
But it's weird because he's like an artist.
Yeah, he's not following his dreams
Yeah.
at the point where he wants to, working for his fucking dad, grinding away.
And he's like 50?
Yeah,
Right?
He's been doing it his whole life.
40 something?
Dad's been walking all over him his whole life.
Well,
dude.
that's when we get to that part is why I think his character's relatable because it's like, yeah, he still is into all this shit, but maybe some of it was forced down his throat.
Oh, it absolutely was. And that really comes into play later, which I thought was kind of interesting. Like, they didn't have to do that, but I thought that arc was good.
It makes John Lithgow's character a lot more interesting because he could be very one-dimensional. And at first you kind of, again, first time really actually sitting with this movie in over 30 years in any capacity. But it's like, at first I'm just like, I like John Lithgow, but what are they doing with this character? And they kind of humanize him with that.
They do.
There's
big
more
time.
to
Makes
it
you
than
care
that,
a little bit
but-
more.
Oh, big time. And then, like, we're going to get to it, but
Yeah.
how it relates to nature and appreciating it.
Mhm.
Sure.
But, they're cruising down the fucking road down through Mount Rainier National Park, dude. It's beautiful.
Yeah, this whole intro, the opening titles even, you get like a 5-minute just clip
Yeah.
of just wildlife shots. And I'm like,
Awesome
all right.
B-roll, yeah.
I've been there.
Well-
and that's where I got this shot glass
Oh,
from,
shit.
dude. Yeah, from Washington with the
Oh,
big
let's
feet.
go.
Yeah, man.
I was
Love
about
that.
to be like, well, I love the nature shots, but movie, can we get to the point? But yeah, it's beautiful. It sounds like a stupid complaint.
It's setting the tone.
Yeah, it is.
It's setting the tone, and it's showing you like how vast it is,
True.
and
Yeah.
and that's kind of the point because it's like, well, how do you find this monkey man in the middle of
Right, middle of
the
nowhere.
wilderness? So they're really out there. So they're driving back, and they're like bickering in the car, saying like weird shit to each other. Don't step on my trout and stuff like that. Like weird Like, there's weird dialogue
Weird
here.
camp jokes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Arguing, well, the dad didn't bring his rifle, but he actually did. So
Yeah.
why would you lie about it? It's like this weird, like, back and forth stuff I can't relate to.
Honey, you want your sunglasses? No, I'm fine. Whack, hits a fucking Bigfoot right in the leg. He goes spinning out on the side of the road, dude.
Fucks that front end up. Really does. Fucking got him.
It's
Bad.
jacked up.
I mean, how fast was this fucking Bigfoot running when you think about it? I mean, we don't know he's running from somebody yet, but he's clearly, I mean, spoilers, he's running from somebody. So was he going 20, 30 miles? I don't know how fast these fuckers are.
Who knows, man?
They disappear into the woods. I don't know.
It's like
Light
that
speed.
It's
man.
like that Ben Willis
yeah.
idea, right? Because why is he like walking on that fucking fishing road when those people hit him in the middle of the night for no reason? That's why Bigfoot's there, just because he wanted to be.
That's a good question.
So yeah, and John Lithgow's like, "Oh my god, I thought I hit a man."
Yeah.
And it was like that's kind of creepy because like the sun's in his eyes and you kind of see the shadow of the of Bigfoot walk through, and they hit him, and he goes over to him and he like ends up moving him with his rifle, and like the hand falls out, dude.
Yeah.
What a great shot! And you're like, holy shit! And like, I love this whole scene of them coming upon a Bigfoot and just being like completely awestruck by the fact that this thing exists, but then immediately being like, well, we're going to fucking hitch him to the car and we're going to make some money off this thing.
We're going to sell the body for science or something.
Another thing too that was interesting about this scene was, I don't know if I checked out the trailer, but I know a lot of the promos and posters, they didn't reveal him.
No.
So like the big reveal was like a huge deal for this scene. People were like freaking out in the movies. I remember hearing about.
Oh, really?
Like,
and
yeah.
you don't see his face for like a while.
No.
And you're right. I think on those original posters, it was like blacked
Just
out.
his like eyes.
It was.
Yeah, just his eyes. That's what it was.
With the rose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
To kinda
yes,
give you an
that's
idea.
what it was. Yeah, the corsage, if you will.
But but like you actually don't even get the full reveal. You just kind of see this. You assume it's Bigfoot.
Right.
But then like
Is
they're
it
like,
a gorilla?
is it a gorilla? Right. Everyone, Sarah, you're gonna have to help me get it on the top of the car. So they somehow miraculously, like the Griswold family tree, they get this on the top of the car.
Well, they actually show you how they do it.
Yeah.
They like rope up his
Yeah.
feet, dude, and John Lithgow's pulling his big dirty
That's
feet up
true.
onto the car and he
Those
like hits him in
Freddies.
the sticks him right in his nose.
Oh no.
But they start driving, thinking, okay, that's the end of that. And this is where you get the actual reveal, I guess literally for everybody, like Tim's saying, where he fucking pokes his head out in front of the windshield.
Dude, he gets
like,
a he gets an Ernest Scared Stupid Trantor special on there, man.
oh my God. And they like fucking go off the side of the road just
John
about.
Lithgow hits the
break
brakes.
and he launches, dude.
Superman.
Superman's off the car.
Launches him.
That's Lithgow's famous move in this movie.
Knocks him the fuck out again because this monkey man goes rolling again.
He's got that e-brake on lockdown.
I love this gag here too because Melinda's like rolling down the window. She's like, "Is he dead?" And then she rolls it back up. Are you sure? She rolls it up and
Yeah,
down.
great bit.
It's a great bit. And he's like, "He's definitely dead this time. We're gonna string him up again."
Are you sure?
Yeah,
You
you
said
said
he
that
was
the first time.
It's good.
And like Ernie like wants his dad to shoot this thing.
Yeah,
And he's
that's what I mean. In the beginning,
Yeah.
Ernie's like very trigger happy. It seems
He's like, "Oh,
and
I
he's
killed
about
this
he's about
first
like
blood.
gore.
I'm gonna
yeah.
shoot this fucking rabbit and kill it." And like he's kind of missing the point.
Well, he's mimicking his father, and I think his father's even clearly, based on when they get to his house, has also lost the plot on all this because he's just clearly he's trophy hunting straight up.
well-
he's not even eating the fucking meat.
Well, he's eating it, but like he's also keeping. You don't eat the fucking deer head, John.
Sure, but like we don't ever see that, and he's got like 100 of these fucking things in his
Yeah.
house. He's not on like 3.
Yeah,
So this is like a serious hobby. So I read that as the son is just emulating his father.
Yeah, it's bountiful, and like also like they could have come from his dad in the shop. Too,
Sure. Oh,
maybe
well, that's possible.
Also true.
I'm just trying to relate it to why the kid is acting that way. It's
Oh,
usually
100%.
not just out of the blue. He's just it's because the dad he's emulating him.
Yeah.
Sure.
So so they take off. So the Hendersons take off with this Bigfoot strapped to the top of their fucking car, and we get introduced to Jacques Lafleur, and he's going through the woods with
French
his.
Creole bastard.
Oh man, he's got his little beret on, and his little mustache,
With his army jacket.
Yeah, he like comes to the road and like sees the tire prints and the Bigfoot prints because I guess he's tracking it, and he like picks up the hair and he's like it's fucking sniffing. He gives it a little lick,
Gives a little taste.
Yeah,
Spits it out.
it tastes like a Bigfoot. Yeah,
Definitely Bigfoot. Come here.
This
came here.
It came from his balls.
Yeah.
He's got the accent. You're not sure exactly what he's saying. Yeah.
And he's always so greasy on set. Like I feel like in between he was like missed me. Hit him with a little bit of the fucking baby oil, a little bit.
Yeah,
of,
right.
and-
Baby oil.
Yeah.
He's always so tight when he's talking.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I love Bigfoot.
I need to taste this butt hair.
Yeah. I love Bigfoot, but I want to kill Bigfoot.
I want to dingleberry him.
Takes it home with him, puts it in a plastic bag.
Oh, he takes it out. He puts it in a bag. Yeah. So they all go home for the night, and they leave this animal tied to the top of the car in their garage, and they like go inside. They're like, man, that was a hell of a trip.
The Hendersons, as we find out throughout this film, don't make the smartest decisions.
No. George is like woken up out of like a nightmare, like after like seeing him hit this animal in his dreams.
Like, imagine if in Frankenstein they just didn't like sedate the monster; it just got up and killed them before they got a chance to leave. Whoops! I guess we should have done something about that.
Maybe we should have locked our doors. Maybe we should have took the fucking Bigfoot off of our car.
He's definitely not dead.
No.
Dude, put it in a cage, wrap it up in rope or something.
Anything.
Unless Lithgow took that rifle and blew its fucking brains out, it's
that's what I'm saying.
up.
Well, let's double tap, man.
Yeah.
So he's like, there's something, I got a weird feeling. So he goes downstairs and he's going to the garage to go in to like check on it. And he sees that the tarp's all off the top of the car. Not even 2 seconds later, he turns around and he hears like sounds coming from the house. Harry is inside the house now, or excuse me, the Bigfoot. He doesn't have a name yet.
Oh, right, yeah.
Lithgow rushes in, and I love this shot because he falls on his ass and drops the flashlight, and it like rotates around the room, and you see like this big scary shadow of the Bigfoot, and you haven't seen him yet, right? And he grabs it and he stands up, and Harry's just standing over the fridge that he tipped over, and he's like drinking milk and shit out of a carton, and he starts freaking the fuck out, dude.
Yeah, this tipped over fridge, it's like, okay, like, I assume Bigfoot's strong, but that is a very good way to just show the audience instantly, like, yeah, this motherfucker could take you out easy.
Oh, he's muscle.
It's like Chewbacca.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Expecting him to rip somebody's arms off.
Straight up pounding beef, dude. He is a monster meat magnet. Like, he is a thick boy.
There is a part where, like, John Lithgow tries to run away, and he just, like, puts his big meaty hand, like, in front of him, and he's like, he's calling for his wife and shit. And he's like screaming at the same time, and then Harry starts screaming with him. It's funny.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
There's a lot of like funny gags,
and they're trying to like communicate with them. Like even though they're freaking out, they keep trying to like you're saying, like pantomime towards him or something, or just get a word out he might understand it. Nothing.
There's a lot of facial expressions that that you have to watch the movie to kind of like glean, so it's a little wordy to talk about.
Sure.
But like when he sees Ernie run in, he does like this kind of like purr almost, like his happy purr, like oh, look at that sweet little boy. I know what that is.
And once again, back to him, they're so convincing. Everything looks so great.
Oh my God, man. And how he can go from like terrifying to just like the sweetest thing ever. And like the emotional range in the face of this mechanical thing. Plus
incredible.
Kevin Peters' eyes are like incredible. So they're trying to like distract the Bigfoot, and like Nancy like takes out like blade and starts spraying it, and he's like sniffing the air and like walking towards it.
Well, he also smells. They make a huge point about. I know we joked about it already, but it's like holy shit. They keep like holding their nose.
Dude, Bigfoot notoriously stinks.
Yeah,
if you smell that, you know there's a Sasquatch around, dude.
Not good.
Yeah.
Ass juice.
I guess at a local convention center he's hanging out, because every convention I've been to, I've been smelling something.
Oh, dude, it's masked. You don't even know that he's around. So Sarah runs in and she's like, oh my God, the fridge is tipped over my 15th birthday corsage. And she picks it up. She's got anything.
I've never seen somebody fucking so hyped on a corsage ever. What a nerd.
She was saving that.
She was going to save that for the rest of her life, Tim.
God. Cry.
Without even skipping a beat, Harry's just like, give me that fucking flour. And he like eats
that shit.
Oh man, she is gobsmacked when that happens.
Get over it.
She's like,
she does.
You can't just go around eating people's corsages.
Well,
she does get angry. She gets angry.
She's yelling at him. She's like, I don't care how big and ugly and stinky you are. You can't just do that.
Yeah.
And then he gives her the big old roar to her face.
She's like, all right, maybe you can.
Don't fuck with this wild animal, man.
Again, Chewbacca gonna rip your fucking arms off if you don't let him win.
But when she's berating him, he's like all like
sheepish,
dude. Yeah. Like he's getting yelled at by his wife or something.
Big softy.
Or like a little kid getting yelled at, you know?
Again, like you guys have already said it a bunch of times. I've even said it's just the way that they made this thing pantomime, and the acting is just
so good.
That's what sells it. It could have easily just been whatever, but that's why this movie works.
But it I feel like this movie, especially these scenes, rely heavily on like, this is the situation, guys, go for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of ad-libbing going on, and there's a lot of just like situational visual storytelling happening.
Right. How would you fucking react to a Bigfoot in your kitchen?
And it's pretty great. And again, John's hilarious, and the whole family's hilarious. But he's going through the house. They run outside, and Harry's like going through the house. They like see him through the window and shit. And he's like, he like grabs a door frame because he like hits his head on it and like pushes the whole fucking thing. It pushes
like
the shit
4 of them.
Yeah.
How
And
this house isn't collapsing in on itself, I don't know.
He's punching holes through walls and he's eating plants. And here's where you get that kind of sentimental side of him, because he's not just this rampaging monster. He just doesn't know what's around him. And he sees this deer head on the wall. And he's like petting the deer head. And he's trying to look for the other half of it. And he looks at the deer and he looks at John Lithgow through the window and he's like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. He's like, you son of a bitch.
You killed this poor thing.
Yeah, dude.
But he's like slapping the other side of the wall looking for the ass of the deer. He like punches a hole through it to see if he can see through and like grab it. It's pretty sweet. And
well, Lithgow's out there with the whole family afraid for his life. Like, oh!
Yeah. And then he's like, all right, fuck this. He goes upstairs, and when he's stepping on the stairs, they're just being demolished as he's walking up.
Well, while he's going upstairs, Lithgow kind of realizes what's happening because I think this is the scene he starts taking like the fucking like dead animals off the wall. Yeah. And he goes outside, I think, with the rabbit, and he starts burying it.
Well, he goes upstairs and
he finds the mink.
Yeah, he finds the mink stole, but Lithgow's like, fuck this shit. Like, this animal's gonna destroy our house. I can't let him do that. So he climbs up on this ladder to go shoot him. And he's looking at him through the scope, and Harry's like in the shadows, and he's petting the mink or whatever. And like there's this slow shot where Harry like comes into the light of this lamp, and it lights up his face, and it's just like that's a person, right? All the emotion in that face, it's got feelings, it has cognitivity of like what's going on and things like that. And Lithgow like can't bring himself to shoot the Bigfoot, so he lets him walk away, and he comes downstairs, and like Sean said, he like ends up burying the fucking, he power Hulk jumps like over the railing of this deck, and like picks up, like rips a bush out and like buries the mink. And that's where they kind of put it together that like, oh, he sees the dead animals, he's feeling for the dead animals, and he's trying to bury them like we would bury people. You know what I mean? Or love things that we love.
And there's a lot of social commentary in this movie, but specifically here you start to kind of get a commentary you don't hear a ton in this film, but even Mom's like, well, I didn't kill the animal. It was like my great-grandmother bought it from someone that killed it, so it's not bad. And it's like...
oh, they killed it to sell it on the farm,
and it's like, I've thought about those things, I mean, for a long time now, but that if you haven't thought about it, it's putting those ideas in your head. Whether you take it one way or the other is up to you, but I just thought it was interesting that it's proposing these concepts like, hey, like, oh, I didn't do anything, but are you still in the wrong?
Right.
It's such a perspectival thing, if that's even a word.
Well, it's the idea is bringing to light, like, you know, like fur trapping isn't cool, and like you probably shouldn't wear furs and shit just to kill the fucking animal for the fur. Like, you're not eating it or anything, you're just killing it.
I mean, that's definitely what it's trying to say,
It clicks in Lithgow's head, or George's head rather, and he goes inside and he starts taking down all the taxidermy because he's like, oh shit, close the door, lock the door.
He's like, Harry's pointing at the lock.
Harry's like, open the door there, Nancy. He's like knocking on it. They're like knocking on it back. And he's shoving everything in the closet. And it's so funny, dude, because like there's a slide bolt with the chain, and like he gets his fingers in, and like Nancy's like pushing his fingers off the thing. She ends up letting him in, and he walks into the house, and all the other stuff is away, so like he won't start taking everything out to the bury it, because he takes the deer head out too. Yeah,
they were like, we got to curve this real quick.
Oh yeah, the deer head. Yeah.
He calls the cops. He's like, there's somebody in my house, a big thing. It's Bigfoot. He's in my house. And he's like, oh, okay, sir, Bigfoot's in your house. Got it. Where is he now? And he's like, he's in the bathroom. Because he like flushes the toilet and shit.
That's what I'm saying.
He should have took a dump.
That's what I'm saying, dude. We needed the Bigfoot log in this. Yeah. We needed that dastardly
It wouldn't have got down. It would have been like, this would have been like fat bastard stool sample. Yeah. Someone just broke their toilet.
You needed a Sasquatch, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Missed opportunity, but hey.
He eats a lot of vegetables, so honestly, I'm saying that, but it might just shoot right through him. It just might go right down the toilet.
I think there's definitely something in the back of George's station wagon at one point, right? When they're driving later.
Maybe. That's a long trip.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, those Bigfoot could be a nuisance. Well, guess what? We're going to turn your fucking neighborhood into a war zone. He's like, you don't want that. He's like, no, I'm not George Henderson. Wrong number. Bye.
Meanwhile, also, like, this cop is having a laugh with, like, his supervisor, like, in the background, like, picks up the other line. They're, like, chuckling to each other.
Like this shithead kind of thing. Yeah.
And as soon as he hangs up, Chunk calls, and he's like, I'm in the basement with this guy, the Fratellis.
Yeah, and the guy from fucking Killer Klowns is also on the phone. And Mooney's like, what is this? Everyone's playing a joke on me, goddammit.
You're not going to make a Bigfoot out of me.
Yeah. So fuck you.
Yeah. So good.
Imagine Bigfoot makes him a puppet. Now that's a visual.
Oh, Harry sticking his hand up John Vernon's ass.
Smiling.
Oh, fuck. The double stinker for sure, dude.
Oh God, yeah, talk about it.
Not good.
So he eats the goldfish in the house.
Ah, those poor goldfish.
The sun is coming up. Their nosy neighbor Irene is
Yeah,
coming back because she
yeah.
was dog watching. She's like your classic
lame.
nosy Jewish neighbor.
Well, it's Lane Kazan.
Yeah.
This is the fucking mother from from Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, and she's in a ton of other stuff.
No, feta cheese.
So my wife's seen all these movies,
Yeah.
and the only reason I'm even bringing this up is because she recently saw the third. Like her mother wanted to watch it.
Oh, my biggest fat Greek wedding.
Whatever the fuck.
My
it
big
was.
fat fuck wedding, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, long story short, this character's
Part
kind of
3.
known to like lighten the mood. She's kind of funny, and
Yeah.
she said, my wife was saying, well, this movie kind of opens with this character now has dementia, and is just like in a daze, just sitting there,
my
and it's like
God.
incredibly sad. And like when they finished
No.
watching the movie, my wife and her father were like, "Wow, like that was just depressing. It wasn't funny at all."
What a drag.
This was not. This was the worst reception ever.
Yeah,
She
but in
started-
this,
she
she's
start-
kind of funny.
She started talking about Bigfoot on her deathbed. She's like, I
yeah.
saw this Bigfoot. That skunk ape took a shit in my pool.
Mom, we're gonna go to Greece and have our third big fat Greek wedding. You hang out here with Bigfoot or
Oh
something.
my god, just stay home.
She's gonna hang out with Jacques.
Well, you know, all those movies, those remakes and requels, they all gotta have their little depressing angles.
Sure.
So.
So she's coming back with the dog, little Bob. Okay?
I love that's his name. It's not Bob, it's Little Bob.
Little Bob. He's like
Lil
he looks like the dog from The Mask, right? Same
Yeah,
kind.
yeah.
Like he's like
Oh,
a Milo,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they gotta hide Harry, so they're like, "Oh, get in the basement!" So they try to, Ernie tries to take him down to the basement. He ends up like falling through the
Yeah,
fucking stairs. Dude.
yeah.
Oh my god, OSHA's not happy about that. I mean, OSHA wouldn't be there for that, but whatever the equivalent is.
Dad. He just fell through the stairs. Meanwhile, he like picks his head up and he's like, "Oh shit," because like he's as tall as the steps.
Yeah. Just casually destroying my entire
Oh
home.
man.
So then that Irene woman's coming by and they keep like shutting the blinds to like
blinds,
every
yeah.
window, and then they finally are getting the dog back, and this guy's like sticking his head through the door, his hands going through like a
The laundry
laundry
chute.
chute. And Irene's like, "Oh, what is it?" She's like, "We got a really big gerbil, and it's Ernie's science experiment."
Yeah.
She's like sticking a towel down there, like pushing him down. That's so funny. She's like, "Everything okay with you kids? Everything all right? Okay, I need some peanut butter because I'm going on a new diet."
Well, she's like the classic nosy neighbor stereotype,
Yeah.
but she's great at it. And she even has this like she, as a side character, has her own side character, this pool boy that's always showing up for little psych gags.
Oh, and Kim Lee, which we'll get to later.
Yeah, we'll get to that shit. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was like, oh wow, movie random racist joke. Okay.
So she leaves, and he's like, "Okay, go, Ernie. I'm gonna pick you up." And then Harry picks up Ernie and puts him on the top.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
like
cute.
this scene where they lock eyes again for the first time after like he picks up Ernie. It's Lithgow and Harry, and he like smiles at him, and he does like this. It's like very human what he does to him, and Lithgow's like, "Holy shit, like this is incredible. This is not just an animal." So that's a really good scene. And then he's like, "Okay, back in the basement for me."
Back in your hole, Harry.
He's like, "All right, I'm done." He comes out of the basement, puts his hands up, and he like crawls out, and little Bob comes running in. And he's like jumping in front of him and like barking at him.
Oh, yeah.
And he's trying to grab him, and he ends up like grabbing him in midair and like holding his mouth shut so he stops barking.
I'm like, what is gonna happen to this poor dog?
Just like,
That's what I thought. I mean,
And
I
he's
didn't.
looking like, "What the fuck?
yeah, like what the hell am I doing with this thing? Yeah.
Mom like walks off carefully and is like starts petting the
And
dog,
that's
and then he
sweet.
gets
and he
it.
pets the dog, and then he pets the dog, and then little Bob calms down, and then they become best buds, which I think is great.
Yeah.
A Sasquatch and his dog. Yeah.
So cute, man.
I want to see that fucking movie.
Yeah, seriously, let's get the sequel going.
That's a lost
Just
Mad
a
Max
buddy,
film.
let's make Harry a cop. We'll buddy cop dog it. It'll be awesome. H9 or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
I love it. Or like, no, it's got to be B9.
B9.
B9, yeah.
B9.
B9.
Beans.
But he's got a belt buckle. He's got an H belt buckle to remind anyone of the OGs that have seen Harry and the
Holy
Hendersons.
shit. Just a bit. You need put him in jeans.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Fat schlong.
You see
Wow.
it like running down the leg.
I don't know if
you
you
just
know.
see it the whole time.
It's
pant
like,
leg,
wait,
yeah.
what?
It's like more pronounced.
When it grows, it's like,
Just comes out the bottom.
And there's
of
been
the pant
so
leg.
much dick talk in this episode.
we're not done
Well,
yet.
Tim,
not
again,
done.
welcome to the show. Welcome.
Having a great time,
Did
boys.
you know you were going to talk about Harry's dick for an hour and a half?
Hey, between his dick, his shit, I'm in.
I was talking about
I'm
cum
already in.
pancakes in the first minute, so.
Well, he hasn't shot anything out of that big dong yet.
Not yet.
It's coming.
No, not yet.
So he like hurts himself, and Nancy sees that he's hurt, and it's just like really cute stuff with the family. Like Ernie's like on his back, and he's like taking him around the house, and he's like, it's almost like a slapstick kind of thing too. I mean, it is a comedy for sure. It's like a family movie, but like she puts iodine on his hand and he's like, slapping the table.
Yeah, this is when like that human element really like kicks up. You know what I mean?
Where he's just like a member of the family, like a little brother or something, but he's gigantic. You know?
Yeah.
So we get like a slight detour here with Jacques, and he's like, he goes to Dr. Wrightwood's little like Bigfoot place on Mount Rainier, and he's like, Dr. Wrightwood's like this, he's another Bigfoot enthusiast who has like, it's like his little store with a Bigfoot accoutrement and castings and stuff like that, and he's like written books about it and stuff, and he's like Wrightwood Doc, I found the Bigfoot, he was taken from us, somebody drove over him and took him away, and he's like, what the fuck you talking about, Jacko? He's like, all right, I'll tell you what, why don't you hit the bricks?
Well, this guy's whole thing, I mean, you find this out a little bit later, but it's like that he was a Bigfoot enthusiast and he basically got shunned. And now like he has this park you can go to, but generally speaking, he doesn't believe in it as much because of the reception he has.
Yeah, he's there for the cash and, he's gotten past this point.
Well, he's like, you used to believe just like me. We were together. That's why I came and hung out with you. And he's like, yeah, but I put that shit behind me. Okay, like it's over. There's no Bigfoot. I never saw him again. I wasted my whole life doing it, and you shouldn't either.
Right.
So pack it up, Jacko.
Yeah, you fucking greasy French bastard.
He's like,
all this memorabilia means nothing.
Yeah.
He flips that shit.
He's like, I'm going to tell you what I tell my customers. The Bigfoot eat their dead. That's why you can't find them. And by the way, go ahead, go to town and tell everybody there's Bigfoot. Raise the ruckus there, Jacko. I need my fucking business to kick up again.
Little did he know that actually would work.
It did. Well, everybody went to the sporting goods store. Nobody went to Doc Wrightwood's place to grab any Bigfoot
Well,
merch.
because by the time they went there, he was already out of there.
Well, Lithgow cleans
purposes.
him out later, but there's a passage of time, and like Nancy goes home with groceries because everything was shitty in the fridge, and like George like taught Harry how to sit, and he's like teaching him with like sugar cubes,
but he has like ulterior motives. He's like, we're gonna make money on this. He's like, you're gonna change our whole life. We're gonna be rich.
He's like, why can't we keep him and make money off him? And there's only one of them, right? Because he's the mythical creature. We'll see. So he's feeding him sugar cubes.
Like he's a horse.
And he's like, you sit down. And Harry like gets pissed and like jumps up and just smashes down on the couch. The fucking pillows go flying.
That couch is never recovering.
And he's like,
the couch is still hurting, man.
He's like, holy shit, Dad, you taught him how to sit. And he hears sit again, so he sits through the table. And then sits through another table. It's pretty
straight
fun.
up sit fest, man.
Oh, it's great.
It's good.
This is some Inuyasha shit. Where's Kagome?
So up to this point, how much in damages do you think the Hendersons are looking at for this house?
Dude,
a lot. 20
count for
grand,
count for
30
inflation now. So I don't
holy
know.
shit!
Oh, you counting the car in that?
Yeah,
$100,000.
easy. We're at six figs
in damages.
And this house is pretty nice to begin with, so that's saying something.
On the road again.
I love this part too because he's like, they're talking about what to do with Harry, where he's got to go back. They can't keep him. There's like this big thing between George and Nancy about that. And Ernie's like, hey guys, come in here. Let me show you what I taught him. And he's got a bag of chips. And Harry's sitting in a fucking recliner watching this monkey show with like a handful of dip, and he's laughing his ass off.
He's loving it.
And Ernie's like, look, watch. And he takes the chip and he dips it, and then Harry takes like a leaf and like dips it in.
Yeah.
You know what movie that is, right?
No.
Bedtime for Bonzo. Reagan's on the fucking screen. You can see him. I was like, oh yeah,
my
87.
God.
Of
That
course,
is?
that's got to get slipped
Wow.
in there.
Thank you for dropping that.
It's also because it's a movie about Reagan's like training a monkey. He's like, I could train him like a little kid.
Right.
I looked it up.
That's
Wow.
the joke.
Yeah. But it's just also funny because it's in the back of my mind. I'm like, well, it is also 87, but it does actually make sense.
And it's funny because like the monkey throws stuff at Reagan and like or whoever the fuck that is in the movie.
It's Reagan. I'm pretty
is it?
sure. Yeah.
I've never seen it. But Harry just loses his shit, starts laughing his ass off. And
He
it's so
loves it.
weird to see him laugh.
Yeah.
It is.
And it just, I don't know, it makes me happy when it happens.
It's like, one of those laughs that make you laugh. You know what I
'cause
mean?
it's
Yeah, just fucking dying. It's so good.
So they're like, all right, we got to take him back to Mount Rainier. And they're like trying to lure him in the car with like Filet-O-Fish and shit.
Yeah.
Trying to get him in there. And they finally do.
Well, first Dad gets the hamburgers. He buys like 20 fucking cheeseburgers, and he doesn't like meat. And he's like, well, he likes fish fillet. Sorry, I did the order backwards, like a March of the Wooden Soldiers thing.
I got these cheeseburgers, man. No,
I don't know, dude. Is that Bigfoot dick fitting in there?
I don't think so,
He's
man.
gonna suck it.
Honestly, you know who's looking for those cheeseburgers? Paul Rubens is looking for those fucking cheeseburgers from that one Cheech and Chong film. Hamburger. I guess they're hamburgers, not cheeseburgers, but you get my point.
I am stoned.
Cheeseburgers is Don't Be a Menace.
Yeah,
I got these cheeseburgers, man.
Well, I'm connecting the dots.
Yeah,
no, it all worked.
It
all
worked.
Nice streams, I think it is.
So yeah, he like throws the fillet of fish in the car. He's like, "Well, have some French fries. Get in there, big guy."
Have a milkshake.
He sits in the car, and it's like that classic. I think it's on the front cover of the tape.
Yeah.
There's like he puts like a bump in the station wagon on top. Dude.
Like
That's like my
Beldar.
most memorable like scene growing
Yeah.
up watching this movie was the car dents
And
and
it was
in
like-
the van and then in the car.
And
Yeah,
it's like, oh, here comes the part where Bigfoot's in the car or Harry's in the car.
Yeah.
But anything a Coneheads with Beldar, he gets like the sunroof, and I think he even cuts out area specifically, like a wider berth than you would need typically.
Yeah, sure. So Ernie is all upset and he's crying inside, and George goes to console him, and like Harry's in the car and he sees like the family together, and he starts like crying. And he misses his family, so he like fucking kicks the door off the station wagon and just books.
I thought it was Rawhead Rex, man. I was looking for that fucking Secret Wars comic.
Oh yeah, it's on the ground over there somewhere.
Because they also had a station wagon, I believe.
So he just books and just leaves the Hendersons flat because he's trying to get home.
This is also where we get the name drop. I know we've been just saying it, but he's like, we can't just abandon Harry. And he's like, since when did he have a name? And Lithgow's like, since right now.
Yep.
Harry and the Hendersons, TM.
Right. And
dropped it.
Yeah, they go out and he's gone and they're fucking losing it. But then it kind of starts to turn into like, oh, we lost the family dog.
Yeah,
Kind of, because he like goes into like other people's houses, and like a string of Bigfoot sightings start to happen around.
and this is when shit really starts kicking up in town.
Yeah, the Seattle area, because like he like breaks into this woman's house and like raids her fridge, and she hits him with a fucking
thinks
she
it's a
thinks
mouse.
she thinks it's a mouse, and it like sees his big toe, dude, and just wallops him with like a magazine.
Cranks him.
Yeah. And then like the next day, George is watching TV and like sees some like asshole like guy on TV talking about this story in the paper, which is of course this woman talking about this Bigfoot in her kitchen. And he's like, well, it's got to be Harry. Who else would it be?
Oh, we also get a great visual gag where the night before, when they were trying to get Harry in the fucking station wagon, he grabbed the bumper and he winged it.
Yeah.
It's in Irene's pool, and the pool boy's out there with the fucking net trying to fish it out.
Dude, that's a good recurring gag.
That is.
Your liner's fucked. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Well, that's one of those concrete jobs.
Well, then your concrete's fucking scraped up big time.
So Jacques like visits the house because he finds the failed to mention that the license plate
Yeah.
was in the woods.
Also,
And he's
you
like,
can
"Are
get
you
that-
Mrs. Henderson? I'm from the forestry service. My name is John Smith or something."
Right, the most generic name possible.
He's like, you hit an animal was hit on the side of the road. Do you know anything about that? I just want to help that poor little animal. And she's like, nope.
Nope.
It walked.
Nope.
It got up and
Sorry.
walked right into the woods. And he's like, walked, and he's like, scampered, skittered, whatever the animals do.
Crawled.
See ya. Slams the door in his face.
Two things to note with this scene. One, this was easy information to get in 1987.
Yeah.
He just had the plate and he goes someplace at the county office or whatever, and it's like, yeah, my friend, $10, sir. Here you go. So that's the first thing. Second thing, why the fuck is Irene over? Your house is wrecked by Bigfoot. They're trying to hide this shit from you, and she's like in the house giving Nancy fucking milk.
Well, that's so funny because she's like, oh, I remember me and Herb's first fight. It was worse than this. And dude, that house
Everything is
wrecked.
destroyed.
It's a funny gag, sure, but logically speaking, in the Bigfoot movie, I know what I sound like, but I was like, all right, maybe don't have the fucking blabbermouth in the house.
It's a comedy, Sean.
No, I know, but this is movie
Sean,
dumpster.
what the
This
fuck,
is what I
bro?
do. Come on, we're like 190 episodes in. You should know by now.
So George goes to work for the first time because he like stays home sick the day before to like figure out the Bigfoot shit. And he works for his dad at this sporting goods store, this gun store. And it's fucking M. Emmett Walsh as his dad, dude. R.I.P. He literally just passed away this year.
Yeah,
Which I think
that,
that was crazy because he was old then.
I was gonna say that's a good run.
Yeah, hell of a run. So he's there, and he's basically there to kind of tell him about, like, give the lore dump of Jacques, because Jacques comes into the store and he's like,
a regular.
I need the biggest fucking ammo you
Yeah.
have. And he's like, okay, here you go. Got one box of it. There you go. Because John Lithgow sells it to him. And he's like, what the fuck's with that guy? And then he's like, you ever heard of Jacques Flore? Or
Lafleur?
Lafleur? He's like, he's the biggest Bigfoot hunter. When that guy comes around, you know that the Bigfoot shit's kicking up. So, there's a lot of Bigfoot stuff going down. So I guess John Lithgow, because he's like, Bigfoot, huh? I don't know anything about Bigfoot. Where do I go? Oh, the library.
Right.
This is a library.
The
from
most
all
80s
that.
shit ever.
Oh, Lori Beth
To the
Ginsburg.
library.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, Mike McGavin's there looking for books about elves and runestones and shit, like down the hall.
Yeah, Haggerty.
I love this exchange because he's like, do you have any books about Bigfoot? And
This
she's
is what
like,
I'm talking
she's
about.
like, Sasquatch? And he's like, Sasquatch. And she's like, Sasquatch.
But then she just
it's a
starts
funny-ass
yelling.
It's just a funny ass exchange.
Yeah.
Well, the yelling's funny because the whole joke is he's trying to keep it on the DL, and she's like, "Oh, by the children's section."
Well, she's like, she tells him, she's like, down the hall in
Yeah,
cryptozoology or like legends or some shit. Also, you could check the kids section, dumbass. And he's like, yeah, I knew that.
It's just funny.
roasted.
By the librarian for asking information.
Yeah.
Funny as hell, dude.
Do your job.
So they're reading these books, and like basically all the books that they have, they're all like demonizing Sasquatch and making them out to be these monsters and stuff like that. Except one book by Dr. Wrightwood.
Right.
And it's like examining Bigfoot as a species and how they're not really monsters. It's less of like an encounters book and more like a science kind of book about them. And if they could be a real thing and how they survive and shit like that.
Also, Jockey killed the big fucking grizzly bear Claws.
Oh, Claws, yeah.
Dad mentioned, so you kind of get an idea that this guy just isn't full of shit. He's actually done some damage.
He used to be an A+ hunter until he went fucking crazy with Bigfoot stuff.
I just
No
like that
Claws there.
Yeah, exactly.
Straight
I like that
greasy.
detail. He is greasy.
Well, he gets dumpster fire. He goes into the literal movie dumpster
Yeah.
later. Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
But like one of those books they find is called like the Bigfoot Papers, and I wonder. I'm assuming some of these actually exist. They didn't just make these up for.
Well,
the
this
movie.
one didn't because that's the one written
Well,
by
sure,
Dr.
sure.
Wrightwood. He flips through the book and he sees a picture of Jacques Lafleur's, and she's like, "Oh, that's the guy from the Forestry Service." He's like, "No, that's Jacques Lafleur's. He's like a Bigfoot killer. Like he wants to hunt them." And she's like, "Oh shit, that dirty son of a bitch!"
I mean, thank God she didn't let him in, but yeah.
So now they know Lafleur's is on their tail, right? Like he's just looming around looking for Harry, and now he's in town and Harry's out there somewhere and doesn't know where they are, and if he's gonna get caught.
Fucking Harry also, by the way, is just like wandering around the countryside. He's like going up to the highway,
Yeah.
enjoying the mountain view.
I kind of like. Well, I love that because like he goes up and he's just trying to get home, and
Yeah,
he
he
literally can't because there's a highway running through everything, and he like goes up to the side of the fence and he's like crying and shit. It's pretty
that hit
sad.
me.
I was gonna say
honestly.
that was a point where you start really feeling for him too, man. Like
Because
I just want to just get him home.
and he's just trying to go home, and he has nowhere else to go except to go back the way he came, which is why he's back in the town.
Yeah.
Also, through all of us talking about this, I just realized that LaFleur's is also the dickhead security guard from Mallrats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
not
that's-
Michael Rooker.
And I
right?
kept
Yeah.
trying to think of it, but he wears that little
The
straw
little
hat.
fuck, yeah. I'm like, man, is everyone who's LaFleur's like a fucking dick?
Oh, shit, it's
my
LaFleur.
Oh shit, it's LaFleur's.
Wow, I'm like picturing that now. You're right. Yeah.
So Lithgow goes to see Dr. Wrightwood up at his Bigfoot Emporium. And he like lies to him. He's like, I don't know, Dr. Wrightwood. He's old and crazy. He's not here. What do you want? He's like, well, if I knew this guy who had a Bigfoot in his house and was trying to take care of
Jack.
He's like Jack and the Beanstalk? And he's like, no, actually, like this guy.
This is a football situation. This is like Christmas story. Like, oh, football. He doesn't even know what to say, and he fucking says the wrong.
Yeah.
thing.
Football? What's a football? Yeah.
The
What's
joke
a
is
jack?
like
Who's
well,
Jack?
I got this friend. His name's John, and he has a basement full of VHS tapes, and he does the show with this guy. It's called Movie Dumpster or something.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
So he ends up giving him his phone number, and he's like, "Yo, give this to the doc. Tell him to call me. Like, it's really important. I got info on the big guy. His life could be at stake."
Well, the guy even says, because he's asking him, like, well, could they have procreated? Could they have been around here forever? And he's like, I've never seen a baby pigeon,
Have
but
you?
they must exist, right? And he's like, huh. Okay.
All right.
He gets pissed off at him at one point, and he's like, "Look, are you gonna shop? It's closing time or whatever, or talk." So he ends up like buying like an armful of shit, dude.
Yeah.
And I want this Bigfoot foot lamp that he brings.
Dude,
out.
this has got to be a Christmas story reference. Like, we got the mom, we got
Damn.
the leg lamp.
Should have put out the Harry and the Hendersons Bigfoot promo lamp.
Yes,
It's a major award.
It's still not too late, man.
It's never too late.
When you come back, right? When you do a second round,
That's what we do.
hell yeah, man.
I'm gonna call it the La Scola.
I just want
hairy
one.
foot lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Freddies, dude. The
And then you
hairy
can make,
Freddies.
dude. Yeah, you can make like a big dick too.
But in jeans.
Dude, no.
With the H belt.
Harry's dildo, dude.
Oh,
straight
dude,
up.
fucking monster.
Oh my
my
god, is it
God.
molded after his actual penis?
Yes.
But it's
1000%.
yeah,
like
dude. It's
off the
this big.
camera.
It's like sporting this logo.
Flaccid.
Yes. Wow, perfect.
Yeah. John Lithgow's face is on the tip.
Yeah. And then it comes in hairy and not hairy. 2 options. And for the
yeah.
ladies, hairy.
And there's a special edition.
Sheathed.
Yeah.
Circumcised, uncircumcised.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
They might have brisses in the Sasquatchian community. We don't
No.
know.
Could you imagine a Sasquatch bris?
Oh my
I
god,
am.
that would be
I'm talking about it. I am imagining it, literally.
that would be the hypest shit ever. Let's all go right now.
In the woods, but they have like the
have
scarves
the
and the
whole
yarmulkes.
outfit.
Oh my
Of course,
god.
obviously.
Do they have the little wooden guillotine from Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Yes.
Yes, Mel Brooks sold it to them actually way back in the
I put
day.
your little thing and then I nipped the Bigfoot tip.
And then, ooh.
Oh, yeah, they're screaming in the woods.
They got a
And we
little
all
too close
celebrate.
time.
Then they have a I don't know what, a feast of berries and
Leafs
shit.
and dip, dude.
Leaves and dip.
They have a lot of marijuana stored up for those occasions. They keep it on this. They're growers.
Spark it. It's just a fucking monster.
Oh, dude, there's a fucking Bigfoot peace pipe made out of a log.
Dude,
Yes.
there's gotta be
They're
a
hitting-
4-footer they're
Yeah.
ripping, right?
It's like that 4-footer one I was talking about. They got to put their whole fucking ape face
Yes.
in.
That's the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes you wanted, honestly. But it was with Harry and the Hendersons.
Or, dude, you know they're crushing up. They're making that mushroom tea.
Yeah,
That's
they
like
are.
the hors d'oeuvres
Yeah.
on the side.
See, this is why. This is why we got to party with Perry, dude.
Right?
1000%.
I'd love to.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Remember when Jack Black turned into a fucking
Yes.
Sasquatch?
That's
Yeah.
what we need.
Oh my God, I did not remember that.
So anyway, this is where we get the drawing, Tim. Where I remember Walter was like, "Hey there, Johnny boy, I need you to draw a fucking Bigfoot, a big one, a big scary one. We'll put
Yeah.
him in the window, and that'll drive sales to everything into the store." And he's like, "I don't know, Dad. Like, do we make him? He's not big and scary. What if he's not?"
Yeah.
He's like, no. It's gotta have big fucking fangs and claws, and there you go. You're an
The
artist
eyes,
or
yeah.
whatever, right?
He's like tipping his hand because literally no one knows this thing exists except for him. So he just sounds crazy when he's like giving pushback on
But
it.
he's like, it's just so shitty too. Because here's some of
Oh,
that
yeah.
art stuff too. Because Walsh like, "Oh, you still do that painting shit or
Yeah,
whatever?"
yeah, like call him like a
All right,
little
do it for
puss.
free
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, because the whole movie, they're kind of hinting, oh, Dad has this drawing notebook, and he loves to draw, but it's like a passion project. It's not his career, and you kind of get that picture painted right
Yeah.
here that his dad just wasn't for it.
No, and he like totally stifled his dream and like didn't support him at all, and now he's working as fucking gun store.
Well, yeah, because he probably just you kind of got to read between the lines, but it's probably like you're gonna take over this fucking store, so you're gonna work at it till I die, kind of shit.
I guess.
Yeah, and like you said earlier, this is when like Lithgow's character, like you start really feeling like for him as far as like the dad relationship when you don't really like get to follow your dream or put that energy into your hobby. That's that's some real shit, man.
and it's
Soul sucking.
Yeah.
man, it sucks.
So then, like, to what Joe's talking about, we cut to the scene of him now drawing this, let's call it evil Harry. And it actually is pretty intimidating looking, but he is not happy with this. He's crumbling it up. His wife's trying to kind of console him, like, why are you doing this?
Because that's not what he wants to draw. It's not accurate. It's not true. And she's basically like, you need to draw Harry the way that a real Sasquatch is because you know what he looks like.
Yeah.
Just like that. Because he had already like sketched Harry before, so he does another render of him.
He does, like, a beautiful drawing of him.
And he's like, I begged my dad for paints for Christmas, and he ended up getting me a BB gun. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Shoot his eye out.
it was in high school. It fell off the garage. I don't know. His wife knows all about it.
Yeah, exactly. She's the expert.
He's like, it's like drawing a wanted poster of your best friend. I can't do that.
That's
So-
powerful stuff.
So he draws Perry and he hangs it up, and MMO's like, what the fuck is this shit?
That's not what I asked. I should have got a real artist.
Should've
Yeah,
got a
he's
re-
literally like, you suck, son.
Man,
fucked up.
that was just like, just like felt that one.
I know, fucking, I hated that
Hey,
guy.
like fuck you, man.
Put one right in his suck hole.
Yeah.
And
Put
he
a fucking Bigfoot dog.
Yeah.
exactly. But he also has this whole idea because now there's Bigfoot like fever in town.
Now these
Yeah.
assholes are running around.
Yeah.
There's jackasses off the street that are like, give me the biggest gun you got. Give me a fully automatic. He's like, they're fully automatics are fucking illegal, jerk off.
Yeah.
And he's like, besides, it's gonna take a week for you to get your handgun license. It's like, give me a rifle, give me a shotgun, give me the biggest gun you got.
Right, because when Harry comes back after his little trip trying to get to the mountain, that's when like more people happen to see him in daylight.
Yeah.
And that's when the fever happens. But the reason why Dad wants the picture drawn is because he's like, we're gonna put a pin in every spot in the county on
Yeah.
the drawing where he was sighted.
We're gonna make Bigfoot HQ, and they're gonna buy all the bullets and guns from here.
BHQ, yeah.
But to your point, the second time he's seen when everybody goes crazy is he's like watching this woman through a window like cook a chicken in a pot, and then he's looking over and he's seeing these two old folks go in a hot tub, and he's like, like they're being cooked,
freaking out. Yeah,
and then this like younger couple, not young but younger than those people, they come like out of their front door, and this woman screams like, ah!
Yeah, the guy's like, hey, Peepin' Tom, get out of that window. And he's like, oh, shit, it's a Bigfoot.
Yeah. And that's when we have another set of news crew show up, and the fever's at a fever pitch, I should say. And this is when John Lithgow is like, oh, I got to get down there because that guy buying guns is like, well, there was a sighting by my address.
And Emmett Walsh comes up as John Lithgow's leaving. He's like, look, you're not the only artist in the family. And he like drew like over his artwork, and it's like shitty Sharpie with like sharp teeth and like red eyes.
Yeah,
the ultimate disrespect to an artist.
Look at this, it's better than your bullshit.
And then it's time for him to go off.
Oh, dude, Lithgow snaps.
This has been building for a long time. Quits his fucking job.
It's literally the fuck you dad moment.
Oh,
and we've all had a fuck you dad moment, but this is like, fuck this guy.
I quit, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what, you can't quit. There's so much business to be had.
Well, right, that's his complaint. Not that his son's walking away from the family business. That, we're finally busy.
Nothing to do with like, oh shit, like I hurt my son's feelings or like how he feels about any of that.
No,
it's
like
just
how can I get this covered kind of thing.
Yeah, like shit, now I gotta fucking tell Rich to come in or whatever. Yeah.
They don't have a Rich, that's the problem.
No. So he's driving around and he sees like this congregation of cops and this biker guy and he's going off with all this news crew. So he runs over and he hears this guy talking, and this guy on the bike's like, and then I stopped at a stop sign like I always do. On my 20-speed
total
bike.
bullshit story.
And he's like, then the Sasquatch came over and he grabbed me and he picked me up and he body slammed me on the concrete, and then he was looming over me and he was snarling and with his rabid fucking monkey fangs in my face. And John Lithgow's like, you lying sack of shit.
He was like, no, he wasn't.
You didn't. Not at
no,
all.
he didn't. It's like
the
Bill Madison.
Yeah.
No, man, but if they
did. You can imagine what it'd be like.
He literally
Straight
grabs
up.
this fucking dude by like the shirt and is screaming in his face, and the guy like instantly caves like, I made it up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. He's like,
nah, it was a ruse.
He's like, you. This is what really happened.
Yeah.
You got so scared you shit your pants when you saw the thing, and it was more scared of you, and you crashed your fucking bike. And he's
dummy.
Like, and he's like, that's what happened, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, but he doesn't think about the consequences of saying all that, because then everyone that's
the
20 reporters are like, well, how would you know?
Did you see it? What's your name? And he's like,
and then he's like, peace.
George Hen. There's like cameras in his face.
Which then you just think, well, you already said too much, but I guess he doesn't get the full last name out there.
This is kind of the culmination of the movie where you're like, finally, like we got to go find Harry or else he's gonna get hurt, right? Because now there's like civilians running around on the street with guns, like armed to the teeth, like fucking Rambo.
Halloween fucking ends, or Halloween kills, I mean.
Dude, Harry dies tonight.
That's what it was like. That was the vibe, dude.
Oh, he's got the baseball bat.
He's got the Peacemaker, dude.
Holy shit, look out, Harry.
Yeah.
Not good.
Harry's walking through this like alley or the it looks like the fucking street in RoboCop where
it looks like they're in Detroit.
Where Botica's gang is like hanging out, and he pulls up with the car. But all the TVs are there, and Harry sees the broadcast of John Lithgow, and he like freaks out. He's like, "Oh my god, it's John Lithgow!" He rips off the grate, smashes the fucking window, and he like it's so sweet, man, because he like picks up the TV with John Lithgow on it, and, like tries to walk away with it.
Oh, like hug it, and even does like the
unplugs
hand thing.
and it shuts off.
Damn, I miss like the front window TVs, man.
I was gonna bring that up because I feel like the early 2000s is the last time those were really prominent. I mean, maybe they still are like in New York City or something like that, but I feel like that's like...
That was the best.
Not the tube TVs, though.
Well, I'm saying just TVs, period.
Yeah.
Just the tubes, that adds another level to it, but just walking down the street, catching the news just on a TV in a window. No, you just have your phone now. You don't even think about it, you know?
Man, I can't even think of just like normal window shopping stuff.
I mean, I guess if you're going into a store...
I mean, in a mall or
yeah,
something.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, like on the street, like that's a dying thing, man.
Yeah, not that I recall. Not that I can think of.
I
Except
mean,
for like maybe clothes stores.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, the only thing I could think of is like if you go into like an electronics store, which again are also far and few between now. Like that's where you would see it, but like
but not outside in the storefront though.
Yeah,
it is kind of crazy. We're getting old, guys.
Well, it's just it feels.
We're talking about fucking Harry in the
No, we are.
Yeah, but it feels good to see that.
It does. It does.
Nostalgia, folks.
Absolutely.
Eat it up.
If it makes you feel good, do it. If it makes you feel good, do it.
Eat it up.
Fuck it, even.
Well,
Fuck that.
With your big ass, hairy
big
schlong.
ass hairy.
Yeah.
Whoop it out. Addendum. You got to make the dildo with a molded John Lithgow likeness head.
You want it? You got it.
Dude, come on. With the balls and everything.
All right, movie dumpster Kickstarter. Here we go.
Oh my god.
We're going to kickstart a cock.
It looks like the Beetlejuice snake.
Yeah. I think it was like, man, I'm surprised that's not a dill yet. I know.
Yeah,
I
it
saw
probably
one with
is.
Joe Bob's head on it.
I'm sure he's thrilled about that.
Yeah.
Does Darcy use it?
You can literally stick Joe Bob up your ass if you wanted
Oh
to.
my
boy.
God. Honey, the last drive-in's on. Go get the Joe Bob cock.
Sit on it.
It's only a 3-hour program.
Oh my God.
Click it and stick it, baby. You know, that's how you do it.
Unreal.
So he keeps taking these TVs, but the cops roll up. What the fuck is that, a Bigfoot? And he throws the TV at him and he takes off. Now the cops roll up and they start cordoning off the area. So it's
Talk about RoboCop. Like, it's that bad? Are they just shooting random civilians?
I don't know, but
gun totters?
You know what it reminded me of? Alligator.
Oh, a little bit actually.
You know how like they had those like random like alleys, like the alligator was down and shit.
Yeah.
And they were like looking for it. That's what this kind of feels like, except Harry's running around. So Jacques is there, and there's like civilians running down, and there's one guy dressed like fucking Rambo.
That's the guy who gets the information from
Yeah.
him that's trying to buy the guns.
There's like cops arresting those guys, but also looking for a Sasquatch, and like, don't shoot the Sasquatch. Could be some asshole in an ape suit, which was pretty good.
But Lithgow's also like on the hunt again, kind of like he's looking for his dog. He's looking for fucking Bigfoot, and he's like hiding, and like the one guy gets arrested, and he's like right off camera, and he's like running around trying to, and he starts even like kind of cooing.
He's making the Bigfoot sound. He's going,
which actually gets LaFleur's notice. He hears that, and it's not clear initially if it's Harry or John Lithgow doing it, but you're like, oh shit, someone's about to get lit up because this guy's got the rifle ready to go.
I love how LaFleur's has like a little glove for his finger, his trigger finger that he takes off.
Dude, that I remember rewatching this, like, when we were going to do the episode recently and just being like, what the fuck was that, dude?
He needs like skin to metal to have like good contact and know he's hitting
it. Feels good, man.
Yeah,
See,
that was
ejaculate when he pulls the trigger.
He's got to be connected to it.
That was very noticeable for sure.
Because he does unhook it. Like he takes his other hand to do it. Yeah.
Maybe it's because he's so fucking greasy. No, I guess that would be.
He would wear the glove
if
when
he was
he
greasy.
was greasy. I think it's just like one of those things where he's got it. Like using a condom and not.
Okay.
Kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Or
put your dick in the hole
dry
without
guy?
it, yeah. Or just like skin to skin,
Okay.
I've never actually fired a handgun, any kind of gun, but I maybe just let's get a shot in the dark. Maybe he thought that the material on the glove was going to get caught in the trigger.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I think
this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter because right
guy
after
sucks.
this, he walks around a corner and he sees this fucking dumpster hanging like Shredder.
Who the fuck picked up Harry in a dumpster?
I don't.
And
Casey
then
Jones, man. That's what I'm saying.
and picked him up.
Oops.
Yeah. Shredder's in the back of that fucking thing. Casey booked it.
Oh, Cowabunga.
Even though they're in Seattle.
Yeah, the Emerald City, baby.
Yeah.
But whoever was driving that truck just left it there with the Mario Brothers in that fucking thing going to Koopa Towers.
Somebody was Double Dragon was in there.
Oh, could be a Bobo was driving that
he
shit.
He farted. Well, right. It's shit fueled. Right. They ran out of garbage.
Right, got it.
But yeah, this thing's like hanging up there, and LaFleur's like looking around because he hears like the. And then he looks up and kind of like hanging over the edge of this dumpster.
Who's in the dumpster? Helen Keller?
I don't know. We're gonna find out in a second. In fact, it's not. It's Harry poking his little head.
So fuck, man.
Yeah.
So Harry's in the fucking dumpster, and he crawls up there. Jacques climbs up there to get him.
Why didn't he just go in the fucking the truck
know.
and lower it?
Harry
I don't know.
grabs his ass, throws him, pulls him into the thing, and knocks him the fuck out. And he's like in the corner, knocked out.
Quivering.
And then John Lithgow's running around. He's like, Harry, where are you? And he like pops out and he's like, and he's smacking the fucking dumpster to get his attention. And he's like, all right, stay up there. Now I thought this was cool because it's like, well, how do you get the fucking Sasquatch out of here? Right? He's up. He's in a garbage. He's in the literal movie dumpster on a garbage truck.
With Joe Montana from Baby's Day Out.
with his roasted nuts.
He's in there like, big, big, big. He gets punched in the face by Harry.
So John Lithgow hops in the truck, and now he's driving this garbage truck out of the city, I guess, or out of the downtown area. And the cops are like, follow that garbage truck.
This illegal ass driving maneuver.
There is some like really dark shit here because now LaFleurs wakes up and he's trying to kill Harry, right?
Oh, with the revolver.
And
yeah.
Harry takes the fucking gun from him. And he's like looking at through the gun hole, and like it's
safety's
like,
off,
dude. It's right up to his eye, and LaFleurs just like goes and reaches for the gun. And he's about to pull the trigger and just blow a fucking hole in Harry's dome.
First, they're like struggling over
the ends.
Yeah, exactly. They're struggling over the revolver, and then he realizes, oh, Harry doesn't even realize what this is, and is just kind of like slowly trying to just let him kill himself.
Yeah. So there's like this random homeless dude that runs in front of the garbage truck, and John Lithgow smashes on the brakes, and again, this fucking
His famous move.
This dumpster goes
Launch.
Dude, this is like 50 feet. This thing flies in the air.
Maybe the Bigfoot's alive, but
LaFleurs has got to be gone.
His
Fucking
head is
greasy bastard. End it for him, dude.
His head is smushed under that Sasquatch ass, dude.
Yeah.
Joe Montana midair. Baby luck! Screaming.
So Harry gets up and he's like, oh, that was crazy. He's like, oh, John Lithgow, I'm over here. So they get in the station wagon and they peel out. LaFleurs wakes up.
The door off again, by the way.
Yeah, LaFleurs wakes up and the cops like train all their guns on him and they arrest his ass and throw him in a cell.
So then George takes fucking Harry home and Nancy and Ernie are sitting there all looking like depressed. And he's like,
they're sleeping.
Oh, they're sleeping. You're right.
They
he's
bring
like,
this hairy, stinky fucking ape man in.
Literally been through fucking hell. These people are just sleeping at home.
They smell him.
Yeah. They could smell him coming off the elevator.
Look who it is. He's smiling at him. They're jumping over the moon. They're happy. Sarah's like, I smelt you from upstairs.
Oh, I smelled you.
Which, you know what? It's a funny gag on its own, but I love this pull through line because Slam cut to, yeah, he really needs a bath. We got this fucking woman's pool just filled like brown hot gravy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. There's
Pull a fucking poodle out of there.
There's like fucking Harry.
Ew.
Pool dude's like, you got a cat, man? She's like, no. She's
This
like,
looks like Carl's pool from Aqua Teen.
Straight up Heinz jarred gravy, dude.
Yeah.
Not good.
Disgusting.
pour that shit over some turkey, man.
Yeah, I think he also rocked that hog in there. You had to clean that out too, you know.
So who had the pleasure of cleaning that dog?
God.
Fucking Ernie was hitting that with the fucking power washer, man.
Little dude's under there. Snip, snip here, snip, snip there.
Oh my God.
Irene's on a bike at one point, and she's like, I'm really upset. I don't know what the fuck happened to the pool. Herb thinks a condor flew over and took a shit in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? Turn that filter on, bitch.
Yeah.
Well, this is also where she then finds her fucking roses snipped.
Yeah.
Kimchi.
And
Kimchi. And I'm like, what?
Fucking Asian guy walks over and he goes, "It's Kim Lee." I'm like, okay,
that was the eyebrow raiser for sure, man.
the whole movie. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, 87, right?
Dude,
Yep.
what was her name? What was the actress's name?
Oh, I forgot
Do
already.
you think she was like, no, this will be funny. Look, Will. Look, check it out. Hey, Kimchi.
Right, that was her ad lib.
Yeah.
The woman from My Big Fat Greek Wedding
Right.
before dementia.
Well, she kind of got, what was coming to her, I guess.
Yeah.
Fucking-
In the MDU, she did, yeah.
did.
Movie Dumpster Universe, of course. But yeah, she sees these roses all cut up and starts yelling at the gardener. And then cut to Harry is the one that did it. And he's actually thinks he's doing a nice gesture.
He is.
Bringing them to Sarah because he ate the corsage.
We're missing the best part. And after they give Harry a bath in that disgusting pool,
Oh, you're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
we get some fucking Addams Family.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's the best.
He's watching it,
It's one
right.
of the best scenes of the movie. They're like drying him up.
Yeah.
Again, like Wizard of Oz, man. Like the Cowardly Lion.
yeah.
And his face, dude.
He's fucking smiling
Loving it.
and he's looking
Yeah.
around and he's watching the Addams Family.
That's true. Be
great.
remiss not to mention that part,
Yeah.
right?
It's so good. And and the song is like playing, and then they start looking at each other like, yeah, I guess we are kind of creepy and
Yeah.
kooky with a Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah. Like some self-awareness. You're right.
It was good.
But then, yeah, he brings the roses to Sarah, and she's like, oh, I love this. She's like, yeah, we should show Irene. She loves roses. And they're like putting it in a vase. It's just, it's nice, but it also has that funny twist to it.
It's sweet, and they're really connecting now and becoming more and more of a family. Wrightwood calls, and
Oh, yeah.
and he's like, hey, so I hear you got a Bigfoot over there. Can I come over and see it? And George is like, yeah, of course, come over for dinner or whatever.
But he doesn't really believe him.
No,
he has
he doesn't
an
at
ulterior
all.
motive.
Yeah.
So he goes down there to the house, to the Hendersons' house. They're all about to sit down and have dinner, and he's like telling him his Bigfoot story. And as he's doing this, Harry like comes out of the little room that he's at, and he's like eating plant, like you were saying, he's like eating plants off the fucking shelf and like doing all this stuff by him. He's like, I saw this Bigfoot one day. I didn't see him. I was outside and all this, I was outside in the woods and I was doing this thing, and I turned around and I just saw a flash of fur, and then I knew that the Bigfoot was real and I had to look for it for my whole life. But then I gave up and I wrote a book about it, and here I am sitting at your table.
Yeah. And he's basically like, you guys are dumb.
Yeah.
Bigfoot doesn't exist. All this shit. And then they're like, double bird, turn around. What do you think of that?
There's like a solid 2 minutes of them winking at this guy
Yeah.
while he tells this story while Harry's standing behind
They're
him.
kicking each other under the table. They're going,
Yeah. What a fucking idiot.
In fact, he felt something on his neck.
wait till
Yeah.
he gets a load of this.
It was the erect penis of Harry, but he didn't know what it was.
It was poking him in the ear.
From across the room.
Stop that.
He's like, ooh, what is that?
But no, he does turn.
There's
And
something in this chair. He's fucking me in the back.
what the hell is that? And he sees him, and he's like, you think he's gonna faint, but he just starts screaming like, oh, like he's totally
He's
justified.
like, Yahoo!
Yeah, it hits him with a classic Yahoo.
Dude, he was so happy.
He was hyped.
He was so happy he gave him a fucking Yahoo.
Yeah.
Because he's not crazy.
Yeah.
It's actually true. And
Yeah.
it's literally standing in front
blew
of
his
him
mind.
for him to touch and everything.
Blew his
And
mind.
John Lithgow's also not crazy,
Yeah,
for what it's worth.
Also true.
Full circle, man.
But Harry's like touching his face
Yeah.
and shit and like giving him a hug. And he's like, I love you, Bigfoot.
Yeah.
They're like, say hello to Harry.
Yeah.
That's what it is when he turns.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, huh?
This is great. So they decide to take Harry back the next morning, but they're going to spend the night at the Hendersons' house.
One more day, Dad. Come on, one more day.
I kind of love this because Harry like comes back from outside. He's got like pine
Pine
branches.
yeah,
and
he's
making
built
his
his bed.
bedding, and he's like, "Oh, I guess the doc just left." 2 seconds later, Doc walks in with his sleeping bag.
Sleeping bag,
Dude,
ready to
shacks
go.
up right next to the stinker, dude.
I mean, it lines
Right next
up
to
if
the
he's such
stinker.
a enthusiast and has this whole history.
I
with
love
it.
that. I mean, if I had an opportunity to sleep next to a Bigfoot, I think I would.
Dude, think about that Dutch oven, though.
Oh God! With
Right?
if they had a blanket over.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Or if he rolls over
That's
on
what
you
I was
in the
gonna
middle of the
say.
night.
Yeah, I'd be more worried about that because Ernie's like literally laying on his chest with his teddy bear. So I guess you'd be okay.
Well,
but
the doc isn't there in the morning. It's like Ernie underneath his arm.
might be
with
making
the
some
dog.
coffee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be.
Getting some Egg McMuffins.
He's down the road back when they were $1.
Yeah.
Actually, they're probably cheaper. Well, who am I kidding?
And for whatever, just like an ad company, no farting, no shitting from this thing, but we get like a snore from like Harry snoring.
It's no Lars from Heavyweight.
I was going to say it rivals that deviated septum of Lars.
We don't have Keenan throwing a pillow across the room.
Harry's
God,
like,
I'm dead.
Harry's like, don't be alarmed. I'm fine.
I am fine.
Yeah, Ernie, I'm in heaven. Oh, speaking of, I do want to mention this. I just thought, speaking of Ernie, there's a funny part when Dad's trying to kind of do like the bubbles thing. If they, what was that from Trailer Park Boys? If they go away but they come back, kind of thing.
Oh,
I forgot
yeah,
the
yeah,
line,
it's
but
yours, yeah.
Bubbles does it with a fucking mountain lion.
Oh, my God.
In this, he's trying to explain, well, if Harry goes, it's meant to be. He just needs to be freed. But the son's now thinking about that for every animal. He's like, little Bob, go free. Go away, little Bob.
Oh, yeah, that's like, yeah.
And then little Bob comes back, and it's a bit of a fake out where he's like, he came back. He came back. And Mom's like, oh, Harry? And it's like, no, it's a fucking dog.
Yeah.
I just like
Just
that
ran
bit.
around the house.
It's a good
But,
bit.
yeah. And again, the kid is showing more compassion, too.
Right. No, that's exactly.
Instead of like from the beginning when he was like a fucking gun nut.
Right,
know?
just kill it. Just eat it and kill it.
When he was
Make
a
a hat.
savage.
When he was,
He was a savage.
Before he knew the love of a kind animal / human / thing.
There you go.
That's the story. Crypt had brought this family together, showed them the way, the light.
Made
Be
their
them
hearts,
true selves.
hearts grew 3 times.
Yeah, 3 sizes that day. And so did Harry's dick.
Yep.
Wow, how big is this fucking thing? This is like Anaconda.
Oh, by now it's like the size of a Mack truck dragging
That's-
behind him.
Baby bird.
Just dragging behind him, dude. Absolutely insane.
Cat dog doesn't know what to do with that.
So LaFleur comes and he's creeping around the house again, and he almost gets fucking electric knifed by Irene because she
Yeah.
thinks that he stole her roses.
Right? Well, then she sees Harry in the window.
Yeah.
And she fucking talk about fainting early. She actually does
Oh,
faint.
this is like Mrs. Ochmonok seeing Alf shaving in the window. So LaFleur's is there, and they make a getaway like out of the back, and they're like shoving Harry into like Mr. Wrightwood's like weasel van
Yeah.
from Roger Rabbit.
Oh my God. Speaking of the weasels from Roger Rabbit, the guy that did Harry's fucking voice did this, one of the crazy weasels from Roger.
Really?
I didn't write it down, but he did.
No
He's a prolific
way.
voice actor.
Really? Wow.
Fred something. Anyway.
I'm gonna ram him. Not that guy.
He's like the crazy one of the ones I don't think that has a lot of lines because he was known for
Because
doing
he's just
voices.
laughing and smacking himself or something.
Or the one in the straitjacket, and then there's the
Yeah.
guy with the propeller hat.
Yeah.
And the bat.
Fred Newman,
Fred Newman.
prolific
Shout
voice
out,
actor.
Fred.
What else did he do? Is that the guy who does the Winnie the Pooh voice? No, that's somebody else.
He does
I
a
think.
ton of shit. Look him up.
Okay.
But I just when you mentioned Roger Rabbit, that was one that jumped out
okay.
at me.
So they're in a car chase now, right? And they're going down. I don't know what highway that is because I don't live in Washington or Seattle, but it's like packed, right? So they're going to Mount Rainier, like trying to get him back to the woods.
It's like our shore traffic here on where
Oh
we
God,
used
yeah.
to live.
I think everybody's got that shitty
Something, yeah.
highway or parkway or whatever you want to call it, freeway. So they're driving down it, and like there's a bunch of traffic. So this cop goes by, and like everybody's like gets out of the way, and the cop drives by, and LaFleur starts to catch up to them, and they're like, "Oh my God, LaFleur is coming!" And Lithgow sticks his head out the window. He's like, "Oh my God, here he comes!" And then Harry sticks his head out the window and he goes, "Oh, duh!" And then all of a sudden, Harry goes, "Oh!" And he's like making a fucking siren sound.
Yeah, mimicking the
So
police
good.
car.
It's like
pretty
not
funny.
the time for this, dude.
All the cars get out of the way. While this Bigfoot has his head sticking out the
Yes.
window, making a siren noise.
So yeah,
And
great
they,
part.
And they book it to Mount Rainier.
But talk about baby's day out. All these motherfuckers driving got that baby's day out vision I always bring up. They don't look below their knees. They don't look in their fucking a reverse mirror. They're just like, yeah, it's an ambulance, obviously,
Yeah,
and not
yeah.
just a fucking guy with his head out the
All right.
window.
It sounds like
It is very funny, though.
It's one of the parts of the movie where it's like, that was a little too crazy, but I love it. I think it's I think it's funny. As
It's
hell.
worth it for the gag.
It is good.
They say goodbye to Harry like fucking 10 times in this
Yeah,
movie.
they do.
Yeah, it's like Return of the King,
It's Return
man.
of the King goodbyes because they go
Get
out
on the
to
fucking
the
ships.
forest, and it's sad because like John Lithgow like Harry won't leave, and John Lithgow's like yelling at him, and he's screaming at him. He's like, "Get out of here! We don't want you anymore. Go home!" And he fucking gives him 5 across the face. He smacks that Bigfoot.
Dude, this reminds me of Air Bud. Puts him on the island. I don't want you anymore. I don't want you.
no!
I don't want you anymore.
And then he smacks Air Bud in the face.
yeah, gives him a 2-shot rock, some
Oh, no.
KOs.
Oh my god. Power bombs the dog.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Harry didn't turn around and fucking smoosh.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. That was the beef
Just
jerky
six-
ad.
1-shot cock slap right across
yeah,
the face.
yeah.
Yeah, it did a leg sweep.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But this is kind of like a classic trope where
Yeah.
people are
Yeah,
trying to get
of
rid of a
course.
dog or some
It's just
kind of
it's
pet.
just a little bit more extreme than I thought
yeah.
it would go. Like
The slap to the face is
I
like
That
forgot
is-
about the slap.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
And you were like, oh.
I was like, oh, he just slapped Harry in the face.
it makes sense for what he's trying to accomplish. He wants
I guess.
well,
I wouldn't slap a fucking
me
Bigfoot.
either, but I'm just saying I get what they're going
Friend
for.
or foe, I would
Same.
not smack it.
I wouldn't slap you guys hard.
I mean, when Dr. Hirulock's trying to get Tony Chopper to leave, he yells at him and throws a rock at his face, so it lines up.
A little slap and tickle. See ya.
It's actually a
know.
lot sadder than that. That's just the truncated version.
So Harry ends up walking off, and LaFleur shows up. So they're worried about the footprints. So Wrightwood's got like castings of Bigfoot feet in his car. So they strap these fucking castings to their feet, and they're walking all over the
Yeah.
snow, which is cool. So that it's like feet going in different directions and like in circles, and LaFleur's can't follow it.
He comes, he's like, there's a goddamn army of these things.
He's like, it's a goddamn herd.
Yeah.
But Harry's just like in a tree with like pigeons on his arm.
That must be what he does,
And
right?
like he jumps out of the tree and like he must be like 30 feet in the fucking air.
Well, the reason why he does jump down, because he's kind of watching what they're doing, the Hendersons, and he realizes, oh, they're like protecting
Yeah.
me, and he smiles, but then he notices LaFleur about to turn to shoot John Lithgow, because
Yeah.
Lithgow's off in the distance, not... LaFleur's just going to shoot whatever he hears, and Harry sees this and is like, fuck, jumps down and starts intimidating
Saves
this
the day,
guy.
man.
Busts his fucking, he steps on his gun, breaks it in half,
Yeah.
grabs that little man and just holds him down on the top of the fucking
Yeah.
station wagon.
Carries him over there.
And this is a good scene too because like Lithgow grabs LaFleur. He's like, "You gotta kill him, you son of a bitch!" He's like smashing his head against the
Yeah.
thing, and he's yelling at him. And Harry like catches LaFleur's head and like puts his hand on,
Yeah, and he's
on
like-
his chest. He's like, "Mm-mm.
Peace, brother.
No, dude." He pushes Lithgow away. He takes LaFleur's, looks at him. He fucking starts rubbing his little bald head.
Like the dog, yeah.
He takes a little bit of baby oil offset, sprays
yeah.
that down. Let me shine you, buddy.
Fucking Careless Whisper kicks up.
Let me-
There you go.
He's like,
Oh no!
And in fact, actually, since we're on the topic and we're getting to the end of the movie, talk about petting things, we go back to the deer head.
Oh yeah.
There's the
Yep.
scene a little bit before they bring him back where that closet door gets opened by accident.
yeah, we forgot
yeah.
And all the fucking stuff, animals fall out, and Harry gives like a stern look to George and is like, the fuck?
Well, they all bond by burying it all together,
yeah.
and then he like hugs them
Yeah.
all together, and that's kind of like solidifies
Right.
the family thing.
the writing is pretty good in this. Too.
Oh, it's
When you-
great.
Yeah,
It's
it all
100%.
comes back.
Especially, I'll get to that in my final thought, but especially the visual storytelling with all this stuff. LaFleur is just like completely shocked. He's like, "This thing's gonna kill me! Don't let it kill me!" And it's like rubbing his head, gives him a hug, and then he kind of calms down, and he's like, "Oh, he's not gonna hurt me." And then Wrightwood and LaFleur's kind of have this moment where they're like, we did it. We saw the Bigfoot. And he's like, it's over now. And he's like, no, it's not over there, Jacko. Like, it's just beginning. Like, we're going to study these animals or something.
We're going to ruin it for everybody. We're going to, like, show everyone where these fucking things live.
We're going to take them on tour, the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch grounds.
Yeah, and they'll be extinct in a week, but okay.
So they hug each other for the 9th fucking time, and Harry gives Lithgow a big old hug.
Yes.
And he's like, take care of yourself out there, Harry. And he goes, okay.
Yeah.
And you're like,
drops the line.
And LaFleur's like, Sacre bleu! They have a language!
Sacre bleu!
Yeah. And then we get this weird shot. It's kind of cool, but I don't know. Again, complaining about things not making sense in the Bigfoot movie.
No, this totally makes sense, and I'll tell you why it makes sense. Because
I don't know how they didn't notice these things before this shot.
That's the whole point.
I get that's
is
the
that
point.
You don't notice them. You know what I mean? Like, because they're like these mythical creatures, and it's easy to miss them if you're not looking.
Which you just said exactly what they're going for,
and it works really well.
It's very
I love it because Harry walks off, then all of a sudden another Bigfoot. It's like the end of Predators 2. Or Predator 2?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Where they all
actually.
decloak?
Well, there's a baby this time.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you also got to understand that, like, Harry with that fucking double barrel bazooka ain't shooting blanks, bro.
No, dude. He's got a whole family
for
behind him, yeah.
For sure.
He's got Mrs. Henderson, or Mrs. Harry, and baby Harry, and brother Harry, and cousin Harry. Yeah. It's like the Chewbacca clan.
Even though I don't think it logically adds up, it's a funny visual because then we cut back to, specifically the family are kind of just instantly, like, accepting of it, but, like, the doctor and the hunter are kind of, like, looking at each other like, how the fuck we missed that?
That's the whole dummy. That's the whole thing. It's like, what are you telling me? They just camouflage into fucking the woods like that? Yes, they do.
Like Jason Voorhees, man, they got that teleportation.
Apparently, they climb trees and they're super high up, so you wouldn't even be looking in a tree. You got to look up for Sasquatch. Okay?
I mean, you wouldn't be. You're right.
But the way that they like materialize is cool because they just like turn from a tree and you're like, oh, whoa, I didn't see that one or that one or that one.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
It is good. It's a good ending.
And the banger, like, it doesn't close with the Hendersons. It closes with Jacques and Dr. Wrightwood. And they're like, yeah, so what are we going to do now, Jacko? And he's like, well, there's always Loch Ness.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You're going to double feature Harry and the Hendersons and then the Ted Danson Loch Ness movie.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you do that?
There you go.
It's a perfect combo.
I thought you were going to say, I didn't know you were going to go with an actual suggestion. I thought you were going to suggest, well, Harry and the Hendersons too, obviously, is when they go to Loch Ness.
With Harry,
With
though?
Harry, yeah.
And like, he's like, no, Loch Ness Monster's my old buddy.
He's learned how to talk. He's like talking about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. He can talk now,
Yeah, instead of just saying okay, he's like fully verbal at this point.
Skipped sign language.
Yeah, he didn't have to do that.
Okay.
Perfect.
And it kind of just fades out. I love the credits for this because it's in true fashion of like 80s and 90s stuff. There's always like some little like bloopers or like reels or something like that going next to the credits. And this is so cool because it's like that Aha music video.
Yeah.
Is it the same?
It might be.
I think it might be the same person.
It's very similar style, and if it's not, it looks it looks like that. And it's just so cool because it's like scenes from the movie, and then they're like they turn into hand drawn stuff, and it's just so rad.
With this like really heartfelt song playing over
it's
it.
cool. I love it a lot.
We love that, man. We love a wholesome credits.
Hell yeah. It's a feel good Bigfoot movie, man.
Sure, man.
So yeah, with that being said, the drill, fellas. Is this on the shelf or is it in the dumpster?
This is definitely on the shelf, but I did not love this movie. I was definitely thinking about this a lot because there's a lot in this movie. I'm like, man, why didn't I like this as much? And I wonder if it's just a case of coming to it a lot later in life.
Could be.
I could see that.
Because I feel like the effects do hold up great. I just feel like the story's a little paper thin. I like all the characters. I just feel like there's not a lot of plot there. And I guess like the plot we do get does make sense for the story they're trying to tell. It's mostly just about getting Harry home and the trials and tribulations of getting from point A to point B. I wish there was like more meat on the bone, but when I thought about it more, it's like, well, how long are you really going to hide Bigfoot before it gets out there?
Sure.
They only really have a few days to bond with this guy. So from a story standpoint, it does make sense. I don't know what I would have wanted beyond this. I don't have any suggestions, so I'm talking out of my ass a little. I wanted a little more meat on the proverbial bone, but it's still very good. Not one I would necessarily reach for, but I wish I kind of had that experience as a kid, but for whatever reason, Cool Runnings is when we went back to Ghostbusters, we went back to Wild America, we went back to, but Harry and the Hendersons maybe saw it for a few minutes on USA and just turned it off. Nothing against the film at all. It's just the way that shook out sometimes.
I was like, there's no farting, there's no dicks, there's no poop.
But we added them.
We added that. So yeah, we're all set.
So I definitely recommend seeing this film without a doubt. Like I said, it is shelf. Even if it's low on the shelf for me, it still is shelf.
Okay.
It never quite makes it to dumpster. I know sometimes I put movies I like in the dumpster, but it's still on the shelf.
Gotcha.
We got this amazing makeup by fucking Rick Baker and Kevin Peter Hall that just put it over the edge for me. Even if some other parts of the film don't work for me, that is just so top notch. Sure. It raises it above the bar a little bit.
For me, this is a childhood classic. I think it's pretty much one of the best family movies of the 80s period.
I would agree with that.
It's fantastic. I saw it a ton on HBO as a kid, like I said earlier. Fond memories of it. I remember seeing the TV series intro, at least growing up. I think my brother was a huge fan of that. So for me, this movie has a lot of nostalgia. It's kind of why I wanted to put out the collection. It's just very meaningful for me growing up. And yeah, 100%, just one of the best looking creatures of the 80s and 1000% on the shelf.
Is that still available? That's not still available, is it?
No, but there will be leftovers. That's in production right now, but I always order extras of each size, so just keep your eye out for it. We'll have more.
Absolutely. And we're going to tell you where to get that in a second. Yeah, man, 100% on the shelf for me. I'm going to echo what Tim said. You know, this I think this is one of the best family movies of the 80s, but it's also like a really, really good Bigfoot movie. And I don't really know if that we've made a movie like this that it works as well as it does, apart from like direct-to-video stuff or like made-for-TV stuff. Like this was a big budget production with really good actors, really great makeup from Rick Baker. And as far as the story goes, I think it nails a lot of stuff. I think there's a lot more there than I think, like you were saying, you said it was kind of, the plot was kind of thin, but I think for picking up a Bigfoot, bringing into your home, and then getting him back to the wilderness, I think it works really well. And it's less about Harry and and more about how Harry influences the lives of the Hendersons, and how they are, like Tim said at the beginning of the movie, you know, George is like this hunter guy, and his son is very gung-ho about hunting animals and having all of these, taxidermy and being all about that kind of stuff, like guns and all that shit and hunting, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the way that the kid is like so infatuated with it is weird.
He's a murder hobo.
Yeah. he's hanging out with Jody from fucking Uncle Sam, dude.
Yeah, he needs his epiphany, which he does get in the film.
He does. But again, it's the growth of the characters, and it's kind of Harry kind of tunes them into nature and appreciating life and appreciating how all things kind of work together and stuff, and living harmoniously. And maybe we don't have to do some of the shit that we do. There's no reason to really hunt for sport. I'm not really a fan of that.
Well, yeah.
Hunting for food is one thing, and like going deer hunting and stuff and like eating like deer or rabbit or something is one thing, but like any like trophy hunting, I'm not down with that. I think that's kind of shitty, and especially like having this, this isn't the first film to do this, and it certainly wasn't the last film to do this. Like I can think of like Legend of Gatorface or something like that, but like you have this mythical creature that there's always this one guy who wants to fucking capitalize on it and kill it and like put it on display or whatever.
Razorback.
Yeah,
not
but that,
1-to-1.
Well,
but...
Razorback's a fucking menace, dude. He's like a killer.
True. He's not trying to just mount it.
This wonderful creature just wants to live in peace and harmony in the woods of Mount Rainier, and I feel like that's a cool part of the movie to me, and like how you to preserve the magic, if you will, you know what I mean, and let the legend live on. Same thing with the Ted Danson Loch Ness movie spoilers, and how that kind of pans out, in that movie. So it kind of, that's why I said that'd be a great pair for this. So yeah, I just really love that about it. I mean, I think it's a great flick, and I think it still holds up, and maybe I have a little nostalgia blindness for it, but I think without that, watching it again, I don't know. It's funny as hell. It's really funny. I think it's a solid comedy. It's written really well. A lot of the visual storytelling is fucking on point. And it was kind of for me personally, it was a little difficult to talk about all the little bits because it's all like looks from Harry and all kinds of stuff like that. So a lot of that magic, you have to watch the movie to really get the full effect there.
The visual storytelling. Of it,
yeah, for sure. But it's solid as hell, dude. Shelf for sure. One of the all-timer Bigfoot movie for sure. But yeah, Tim, dude, tell us about Tales from the Crypt. Where can we get your stuff? You talked a little bit about your Harry and Henderson's collection. Or is there going to be leftovers? Where can we get some of that stuff?
So actually, for all the dumpster dwellers, you guys now have 15% off on pre-orders and leftovers on tapesfromthecrypt.net now. The code will be live when this episode drops.
Oh shit! There you go.
So dumpster 15. at checkout.
Dumpster 15 at checkout.
And you guys will save 15% on my website for the foreseeable future. Which is
Wow.
hype.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah,
You know,
so,
I'm going to be using that.
yeah. So, thanks to all you guys and the viewers and everything. So, yeah, we got a ton of stuff in the works. End of the month, we are doing like a 90s like MTV drop.
Hell yeah, man.
So, Tom Green Show, Celebrity Deathmatch, Andy Milanaka Show.
Dude, I'm psyched for the
So that'll
Celebrity
be cool.
Deathmatch.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We're trying to tap in more to, some TV stuff, just some more nostalgia stuff. Going to do like a classic Nickelodeon drop. That'll be cool. Mostly live action though, Double Dare, Figure It Out, mostly like game show kind of stuff,
Cool,
Legends of
man.
the Hidden Temple, stuff like that. So that'll be great. But yeah, we're gonna have some leftovers in June you guys can check out. We got some screenings coming up. Just kind of follow me on Instagram to get some more information on that. And this is kind of a new tradition, but I've been doing a little bit more podcasts lately. So I actually brought a mystery bag of gifts for you
A
guys.
mystery bag of gifts. We are honored.
So
That was super nice of you.
yeah. So
Thank you.
I figured we'd go somewhat on a little camping trip picnic action here. So
Picnic.
I brought the golden goose, aka the Norwegian imported urge. Drop the S, people, because we are about to have a glass of pure citrus smack.
Okay, break
With
this.
carbos.
Break the lore
With
down.
carbos.
You break this down for us, please. What is the origin of this, and what is the difference between this and Surge itself?
Okay, so Surge was created in Norway under the name Urge. It
Okay.
did so well. It sold so well. They liked it. I guess it's Pepsi, right? Pepsi liked it so much.
I think that sounds right. Yeah.
Coca-Cola, sorry.
Coca-Cola,
Coca-Cola.
there
It's
you
only
go.
one of the fucking two.
It's all right. We're not
So-
sponsored by either of them. Fuck
No,
'em.
fuck them. So, yeah, they liked it so much they brought it over to the States and actually just threw an S in front of it. And that's how we ended up with Surge in the States, which is super interesting. But,
I love some Surge.
yeah, pretty much the same ingredient list, just minus the artificial color. You can see it's more urine-based color.
It looks like Fresca.
Yeah, but it's delicious. By any chance, do you have any like nice glasses or some chalices on you or anything? that
Let
we
me
could-
check. I
Okay.
might
Okay,
have some.
yeah, maybe we could crack this and have a little taste test real quick.
Check behind those VHS tapes, Joe.
Oh,
Wait.
let me see.
Oh wow!
It turns out I have exactly 3
Wow.
glasses.
Wow.
There you go.
Right behind the Alf
you.
lunchbox.
And that one's for you.
Wow,
And
really
this
great.
one's for me.
All right, boys. Well, Joe, if you wouldn't mind,
You want me to do the Urge honors?
please.
Oh my goodness.
shake it up for about 30 seconds. No, I'm just kidding.
Not in this room, mister. Here we go. Ready?
Citrus smack all that ass.
Smash. Citrus smack. Urge to regurge.
Hiss for me. Oh my god,
it's-
ASMR movie dumpster.
It smells wonderful.
Everybody, let's get some sniffs in. Yo, no free sniffs to the viewers. Sorry.
Oh, there's like a little hinge on this so you can like
That's
put it
a
back
new
on.
invention. Yeah.
Shout out Norway.
Pantamegigen.
And
Actually,
this is available. You guys can get this online, but just know it's going to be about $50 to ship this bastard.
Holy shit.
So at the end of the day,
whiff,
oh my god,
right?
Sean,
It is citrus heaven.
be careful.
wow. I think it just
Careful.
smelled an entire
That is
orange.
100% pure
Citrus
Surge.
smack. All right, boys.
Or
Who's
Urge,
first?
excuse me. Give me a little bit of the
You want a
bubbly.
fat head on this?
Uh,
I'm just kidding.
hit me up. That fat Lithgow head.
Yo, give me that fat hairy
Look at
head.
this. This is like a little champagne for you.
There we go.
Oh man, it smells really good.
All right, boys. Now let's do this together.
I remember drinking like 2 liters of this like when I was a kid. Like
Really?
Yeah.
Hopefully, you're still fertile. Ready, boys?
Well, no worries.
Ding dings.
Ding ding.
All right, to
Cheers,
the
cheers,
dumpster.
fellas. Oh, to the dumpster.
To the dumpster.
To the dumpster.
To Taste from the Crypt, and to Kevin Peter Hall,
And
guys.
to Harry's huge schlong.
And
Ready?
and Emmett Walsh. And that big Sasquatch penis.
When in Rome.
Yes. Oh man, just as good as I remember it.
Back in time. Back in time.
Wow. Man, I haven't had that in a minute.
Mm.
You know what's funny? About 12 years ago, they re-released it.
Yeah.
I bought a whole fucking case of that shit. There were the
remember.
big cans
No
too.
way.
Yeah.
You still got it?
No, I drank every one of those. I don't think I
12
slept
cans,
for a
12
couple
days.
weeks. Yeah. It was actually. I
Yeah,
think I
we
got.
do it.
I think it was like
Wow.
36 cans, but yeah,
Guys,
that
was-
was good shit.
Yeah.
Thank you
yeah,
so much
of
for
course.
sharing that
Yo,
with us,
literally, I've no better place. But what else does a picnic need? It needs Sean's gift. So
Okay.
what we are going to whip out here, and I'm kind of thinking we should crack this, but no pressure if not.
Okay.
We need something How about some 1998 Universal Monster cookies by Nabisco?
Open nose, son of a bitch. I'm eating one.
You're going to eat one of those?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get the dust off.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Guys, just to let you know, we can die. So
Great.
I blame you, Dinosaur Dracula.
It's on you.
So far so good. I don't see any visual bugs.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you see mold, I'm out. But if not, sure, I'll eat
You know what,
it.
Sean? Since this is yours, I want you
Yeah.
to crack this plastic bag for everybody
The monster cookies.
Let me ruin the nostalgic item.
in front of all of
everyone
our
will love
viewers.
this.
Well,
Uh-oh. Thoughts?
Smells like cheese.
Oh, man. Those are chocolate, man.
I don't know. Maybe my nose is messed
smells
up.
like cheese?
It doesn't smell like chocolate.
Oh, boy. Buckle up, buddy. It's going to be
We
a wild
did,
ride.
for reference sake, if you want to see us eat other gross things, we did that video about the
we're
Ghostbusters
okay.
2016
It doesn't
Ecto
smell like
Cooler.
cheese,
It does
think
have a
we're all right.
scent.
but it's definitely artificial chocolate flavor.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
that's
we're
what it
I think
is.
we're going to be fine.
Yeah, I
but
think we'll
Sean,
be okay.
you do the honors. We can pour some more urge. We can chase it. I'm fine.
Okay.
What'd you get?
I've got a generic bat. I've eaten many of these in my life, but just not. Was how many years ago? Is this 30-year-old?
A lot of years ago.
Because I remember buying these when they were out all the time.
I got a
Oh,
wolf.
I got the Gill Man, my favorite.
Yes.
Oh, this is the lucky egg over there.
Yeah.
All right, perfect, boys. So what I'm going to do, Sean, there's yours.
Perfect.
Is
Right
there
on
any
camera.
indicators that we should be looking for on these things?
As long as they're not moving without you moving them, we should be okay. But here, get your glasses
Okay,
just in
yeah.
case,
Top me off.
All right.
we get any sort of
We did drink old Ecto Cooler.
Yes.
Oh, you're
Again, go
fine.
check out the video. And we did that chip challenge on the Halloween Ends video if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I would eat old cookies over the chip challenge any day.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. After that night,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so.
Ooh, generous.
It's got a
Ooh, a
bouquet
little
to it.
chocolatey.
It's got a bouquet.
Very nice. All right, boys, let's all touch
All right.
cookies. Here we go. This picnic's
Are we
not
doing
over.
a whole boy or half
Fuck
boy?
it.
Oh, okay. Oh.
It's actually really fucking good.
Oh my God, they're perfectly preserved.
I might have one more. These are pretty fucking good.
And this was the last you've seen of Sean.
It tastes like
I got a Wolfman that time.
Tastes like I'm just eating like hot chocolate powder.
cardboard chocolate.
All right, the second one was a little less satisfying, but
It's definitely moldy tasting in the middle there.
they held up a lot better than I anticipated.
I think the hour and a half drive home should be good. Hopefully I'm not pissing out my ass, but
Well, we can always both pull over and piss in each other's asses if we have to.
That tasted musty, dude.
I think at the end, initially not too bad though.
No, but that must comes in at the end.
It
Yeah,
does. It does.
yeah.
Well, we're going to move on. This is actually Joe's gift. It is not moldy or old,
Okay.
but it's something that he enjoys. How about the fresh Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 30th anniversary one-shot comic?
Wow.
What?
Just came out pretty
No
recently.
way, dude.
So I hope you enjoy that. I know you're a big fan.
This fucking Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla is my favorite.
Yeah.
So that is so awesome. Dude, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And
That was
honestly,
really nice of you.
then I have a gift for both of you guys. This is kind of the last wrap up here. So I see that you got a copy of Harry and the Hendersons on the table.
Yeah.
But do you got a copy of Harry and the Hendersons that's signed?
By who?
Oh, well, pretty recognizable signature. Sean, can you make that out? If not, I can help. Okay, ding. So that's actually signed by Cybo Man. If you can't,
Oh my! I was like
If you
trying to
can-
put it together. Like, who is
Wow.
if you can't notice, I actually bumped into Cybo Man
No
himself.
way.
So happened to have a copy of Harry and the Hendersons on me. That is Cybo Man's
Dude,
signature,
that's
straight up.
incredible.
I thought you would enjoy that.
How's he doing?
He's doing great.
He's doing good?
He's
Got
doing
back from the
great.
Star Wars?
Yeah,
Also
yeah.
takes fat shits that
Yeah.
are really smelly.
See, he doesn't fuck around. Cybo Man knows what's up.
Cyber
He
Man's-
always does.
My mouth tastes like poison right now from that cookie.
I hope I don't get
Yeah.
sick.
Me either.
I really hope we don't get
Hey,
sick.
you know what? We did it for the two, man.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, now you have a Harry and the Hendersons signed by Cybo Man.
This is
Do they
amazing.
compare cocks and Cyber Man's got a cybernetic one?
Yeah, I think Cybo Man's got a bigger dick than Harry, right?
It's made out of
it's always the little
nanomachines.
guys.
Notice he signed right on top of his face, too.
He
I
did
was like,
too.
this
He was
is some deep-rooted shit here.
That's like how Richard Dreyfuss won't sign a "What About Bob" poster, right? Yeah, kind
Got
of
it.
thing.
Oh, God.
What a nerd.
This is awesome, dude. Thank
Yeah.
you so much, man.
Yeah, but hey, thank you guys for having me on. It was a really good time. Sorry I'm so sweaty and smelly, but hey, you know what? Not a perfect movie to be sweaty and smelly too. Am I right? Also,
really
a great
is.
movie to hang fat dongs. So.
I was gonna
We're
say,
hanging fat, smelly dog.
That's right.
talking
That's right.
about thinking about that dong's gonna make you sweat a little.
Wow. And follow me on Instagram at Tapes from the Crypt, tapesfromthecrypt.net if you want to shop. Keep an eye out for any Crypt video rental events. Thank you guys. It's really fun. Yeah.
And don't forget, Dumpster 15. Use
Yep.
that promo code for Tapes from the Crypt.
Yep.
Pretty fucking sweet. That was really generous of you to do that, man.
Of
Really
course.
appreciate
Of course.
that.
Yep. Want to appreciate all the dumpster dwellers. And thank you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.
But if you want some more Movie Dumpster content, you can head over to patreon.com/Movie Dumpster. You can get an ad-free audio version of the show for only $2 a month, or you can join our $5 and $10 tiers. Net yourself some Movie Dumpster swag, watch-alongs, live watch-alongs, commentary tracks, mini-sodes, junk mails, all kinds of good stuff. Support us if you can.
And if you're watching here on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe if you're not already, and share it with your friends. It really does help get the word out on the show. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast app, leave us that 5-star review and maybe a thumbs up if you do. It really does help get the show out to more people. Like I just said, more eardrums, eyeballs. There's a saying in there. Check us out.
Yeah, man, those reviews help more than anything. We really appreciate it if you can do that for us on your favorite podcast apps. Anywhere that you can leave a review, it really helps. But you can also head over to MovieDumpsterPodcast.com. We got a store there, all kinds of goodies. We got beach towels for the summer, baby. Dry that Sasquatch ass. You want to do it. We also have a great calendar on there to show all the shows that are coming up that we have. We're going to be at VHS Fest at the Mahoning Drive-In Theater on July 12th through the 15th. And we're also going to be at Monster Mania Con in August in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And that'll be August 2nd to the 4th. So yeah, we hope to see you there. It's going to be a great time.
And now I'm going to go clean my asshole out after eating those cookies.
So that's it. That's Harry and the Hendersons from 1987, directed by William Deere. I'm Joel Escola.
I'm Sean O'Rourke.
And I'm Tim from Tapes from the Crypt.
Thanks for visiting the dumpster.